Hi, everybody. I'm so excited for our second digital summit. So, in the chat box, make sure that you can see the chat and then give me a yes or thumbs up if you can hear me. I just want to make sure everything is set before we get started. Let us all know where you guys are tuning in from. It's super fun to see where our audience is because the last time we had people from all around the world. This time I feel like it's pretty US based. I know we have a bunch of people who are going to be watching the replay or who sign up for VIP because something's going on or their life or something, they're not able to make it live. So for those of you who are live in the chat with us doing it today, play off of each other, ask questions. During each segment, right, I'm live right now. I can see your comments. All of the segments from the instructors have been pre-recorded, and they are going to be live in the chat, able to answer your questions. So if you have questions about form or how to do something, the reason we do that is because if someone was teaching and you had questions, they'd have to come over and stop teaching. So we film the segments beforehand, and then they're in here live. All right, let's see. So we've got Phoenix, San Diego, Los Angeles, Mount Pleasant, Eagle Point, Spokane, Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Perfect, you can hear me, you can see me. Guadalajara, yay. Edmonton, Canada, yay. Awesome. So we have a couple of international. That's exciting. So without further ado, let's get into some housekeeping. So if you're watching on your phone right now, I highly recommend you use your computer. That way you can either see it bigger or you can broadcast it or it's not going to glitch out as much or you can't hear anything yet. Oh no. Other people can hear me. If you can't hear me, try refreshing. And that goes into my next topic is if there's some catastrophic failure or interruption or something, first try refreshing your browser. Refresh or restart. If for some reason you still, okay, good. If for some reason you still can't hear or something goes off live or the chat stops working that happened last time, just keep refreshing and then let us know. If there is something that is not recoverable, I'm going to put in a Zoom link here that we'll all go to. So that Zoom link will transition and migrate if we have to. We haven't had to do that, but that's just in case. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it let's get started into our warm-up. So make sure you have space. Like the disclaimer said in the beginning, if anything is painful or you have an injury or you feel like it's past your skill level, please modify or skip that. Take it as a learning experience. Have a notebook nearby so that you can write down and remember what we're doing so that you can try it again when you're healthy or when you're at that level, okay? So again, listen to your body. Each instructor mentions that. They give modifications, they give progressions so you can make it fit exactly what you need. And since we can't see you, we need you to be safe. This is kind of an intro to how you can train like a gymnast. So I'm really excited to introduce you to all these different training styles that these instructors have, right? If it was just me teaching, that would be only one training style you'd get for this amount of time. But the reason we have 5 different instructors is so you can learn from somebody something different, right? And everybody will connect with somebody or some other instructor differently. You may learn something from Taylor better than you would from me, and I take no offense to that. There are some people that I resonate with from learning things. That's attached to my head. From learning things, but then there are some people who can teach the same thing, and I completely don't get it. So that's why we give you a variety. So if anybody has any questions, just type in the chat. I will be here live the whole time. Same like I said, the instructors during their segments will be here live. I already saw Andrea's in here early. She'll close out the day, but enjoy. I'm really excited to get going. Let's get into warm-up. Make sure you have enough open space. Make sure you know your body, you know your limits. Do not kick walls and furniture and things, all right? If you're like, I don't have enough space to do that, write it down so you can try it when you do have enough space. Quick shout out to Vuori, our clothing sponsor, and then Vivo Barefoot. You will hear our instructors talking about all of those brands during their segments. So let's get started with our warm-up because we've got 15 minutes before we get started. So here we go. We're going to go through kind of a quick dynamic warm-up. and follow along as best you can. I do not expect you to have this memorized. I'm going to do my best to slow it down so you can do it with me. So we're going to do side kicks. Here we go. Step, kick, 1, 2. I don't want to kick my wall. Other side, 1, 2. Again, 1, 2. Do the best with what space you have. From here, hand on hip, reach over to the side. 1, 2. Other side. 1, 2. Forward. 1. Ow, I'm sore. 1, 2. Lean back. 1, 2. Reach through your legs and swing your arms. 1, 2. Twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to repeat that whole thing. Reach over. 1, 2. Other side. 1, 2. Forward. 1, 2. Back. 1, 2. Swings. 1, 2. Twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to turn to the side. From here, down to a squat. And you're going to push your ankles forward into releve and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forward fold, legs straight. 1. Tiny bounces. 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead down on your mat. And I also want to shout out Tumble Track, right? If any of you gymnasts know what Tumble Track is, right? The brand Tumble Track is also one of our sponsors. And this panel mat that I'm on, it goes all the way to my door over there, but they're giving, if you're a VIP registered, they're giving you a discount on panel mats. So if you want to have a panel mat at home so you can try things with foam and not feel like you're going to hurt yourself, or if you just want to take it outside and tumble on the grass, like take advantage of our code. It'll be in your swag bag email that is going out today. All right, so on your back, interlace your fingers. I can no longer see the screen, but I hope you can see me. Hands overhead, arms straight. You're going to do upper body crunches. 1, legs are straight and together. 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, lift your toes off the ground, legs straight or bent, in a hollow body, arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, flip to your side. One hand in front, side crunches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. Arm out, head is resting. Hand in front, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. We're gonna, I think we might be able to fit it. So if you have one leg bent in front of you, this leg goes behind you and is bent as well. You're gonna swing and kick your leg straight, arm goes back. Yeah? Then as you come back here, it bends. 1, 2, 3. Please don't kick anything. 4, and 5. Other side. Again, if you don't have the space to do this, just write it down and try it when you do have space. And angle yourself properly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Pretty fingers. 4, and 5. Good. Up to your knees. One leg out behind you. Shoulders over wrists. You're going to do kicks. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take it back into cat stretch. So on your knees, bottom is up high. Drop the armpits down to the ground. And tiny bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, thread that arm under. Drop the shoulder to the ground. Reach the arm behind you. Tiny pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. Reach through. And twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have a lot of handstand stuff coming at you today with Taylor and Nathan. So we're going to warm up our wrists now. Flip your hands over like this. Fingers are facing your body. I want you to rock back and forth. I need to scoot back so you can see my wrists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip it over. Top of the hands down now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Wrists together, fingers out, circles. 1, 2, 3, other direction, 1, 2. I want you to put weight on the hands so you can feel and warm up your hands. So the next one is ankles. So you can either, you see how I'm sitting. I'm sitting on my heel and I'm rolling my ankle like this. If you know what this one is, go ahead and do 5 circles each direction on both sides, right? But if that's too complicated for you or it kind of hurts to sit like that, you can sit on your bottom, cross the leg over, and roll the ankle. The only thing with this one is just really make sure you're getting the full range of motion. So if we are doing jumping, which I know Chelsea is doing some plyometric stuff, you want to make sure you get the cracks and pops out now versus when you have your full body weight coming down on it. We don't want anything to crack and pop when we're airborne, okay? So roll out both sides, then we'll do some Achilles and our lunge sequence and our back, all right? So downward facing dog, legs are straight, pedal out for a second here. Then we're gonna pulse and bounce on one side with one leg bent. So one leg bent, one leg straight, and bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alternate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a step into your lunge. Drop the knee down. Good. Everybody doing good? Stay with me. I'm very surprised. We've got 23 people on right now. Last summit we had a lot of registrants, but not the biggest show up rate. And this one we have less registrants, but a higher show up rate. So I'm very proud of you for making it here live, especially with everything that's going on this week. I'm very, very proud of you. You should be proud too that you're taking the time to care for yourself and do something for yourself as well. Because I know a lot of us are mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. So taking just a few hours to get 1% better is really important. From here, go back into your lunge. If you need to hold on to something, you can, like a wall. Grab your back leg if you can. If you're up here trying to grab and it's going to hurt your knee, then go down to the ground here. Keep that foot right next to your butt so you don't add torque to the knee. And you can go back to your elbows or to your back. So you can do either quad stretch, grabbing the leg behind you, or going back to here. We'll hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then from here, go ahead and do the splits, or you can go back into that straight leg, flex your foot. Yeah? Back space, back space. So we're in our split here. And look at this, heads up. Cool thing about Vivos is they're super lightweight and they're meant to make you feel barefoot. So that's why they are a sponsor of Train Like a Gymnast in particular. And when I was talking with my contact at Vivo, we really want Vivo to be the barefoot shoe. So you should be able to tumble in these and feel like you are barefoot. So a lot of times when you're wearing shoes, it can feel like you're going to roll your ankle or something. But these are so wide. I'll show you. These are so wide at the top that when you put pressure on your foot, it allows your toes and your foot to spread like it would naturally if you were just barefoot. I know hear a lot of the instructors saying that throughout the day, like, I'm wearing these because I feel barefoot. So if you're like me and you don't wear shoes often, this actually would be a good option for you. And if you registered as VIP, you were entered to win a pair, and we have a winner, and I will tell you that at the end of the summit after all of the instructors are done with their segments. But we're on the other leg now, if you didn't notice, in your lunge. Take it back to straight leg flex split. Keep this leg straight, keep your back flat, lengthen the chest forward. Check time. Cool, we're almost there. All right. Take a wiggle it out a little bit, keep that leg straight, because the tighter your quad, right, the more relaxed the hamstring has to be. So you can get a little bit different angles of the stretch. You can feel where your tightest. If you feel something stiff, give it a little more attention, and then let's take it into your quad stretch. You can either go back into your lunge, keep your hips down, pull the heel to the butt, or, right, put that foot right next to that butt, and then go down to your elbows or your back, whichever you need. Let's see, what else do I want to say to you? I think that's pretty much it. If you guys are getting warm, I want you, and yes, we will be warming up in each segment, kind of, like each instructor will give you something specific for drills that they're doing in their segment, but I just want to get you pre-warmed up here, not gasping for air, because you will be definitely doing that during Chelsea's segment, so I don't want to kill you before hers, but It is going to be a jam-packed day full of movement. So stay with us as best you can. Every 30 minutes after each segment, you'll have a 5-minute commercial break, water break. So you can go to the bathroom, you can get water, but keep it nearby in case you need it as you are training. It'll be really important to do that because you need the endurance to get through today, because each instructor is doing so much in their 30-minute time frame, because there's so much, right? Gymnastics usually is like 3 to 4 or longer hour practices, and so we're trying to cram everything in with all different types of training each of these teachers. So do your best, and if you are not using your phone to watch this, please do like time lapses, selfies, talk about your experience, tag us on social media, because we repost and we actually use all of your experiences to show people what it's like for the next one. So it's up to you to show people what the summits are all about, because you said yes to this experience, you said yes to yourself. I'm super proud. Actually, let's go into middle splits, and I'm not the best at middle splits, but you'll see that a lot of our instructors are, hence why I brought them on. So go into your middle splits here, rock it out a little bit. I don't know if you can still see me. And then come out, and then we'll finish up in 10-17 in just a second. So we'll go into a pike, keep those legs straight, keep that back flat, stretch the hamstrings, warm it up. If you're in a different time zone and it's later in the day, you might already be warm enough. But for those of us on the West Coast, our bodies are just now getting awake from being paralyzed. So we're going to be on your back now. We're going to go into our bridge. So up to you, listen to your body. If you've got any back injury or bridges do not feel good, please listen to your body and just do a glute bridge. And then when it comes to Michelle's segment where she's doing bridge kickovers, just take notes. Just listen to how she's cueing what she's doing. If your back feels fine, go ahead and get ready and follow along with me. So feet flat on the floor. We don't usually back bend into our bridges during warm-up until we're already set. That was just something that I did because we want to make sure we're properly warm before we go into it. So fingertips are facing the shoulders, elbows are up. From here, you're going to push with your glutes and push with your hands. Number one goal is head off the ground, then arms straight, then push the armpits, then legs straight. So head off, push the arms straight, push the armpits past, and then if you can get the legs straight, awesome. If not, you're kind of with me. All right, so hold here. Push the head off the ground, try and lock the arms straight, look in between the hands. Keep lifting, try not to just crunch, feel like someone's lifting your hips up to the ceiling. From there, chin to chest, bend the arms, back of the head comes to the floor, and then you roll down. Okay, that's the safe way to exit a bridge. From here, rock and roll, so bring the knees to the chest, do 3 rocks. 1, oh I love the panel mat, and not hardwood floor. And let's do 2 more, actually, and then on the 5th one, you're going to stand up. Yeah? Good morning, hamstrings. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Let's just warm them up and say hi before we get going. Perfect. I don't know how I timed this, like perfectly on each warm-up. So with that, we're going to go into the first commercial break right now. You're going to see our retreats, our workshops, a bunch of stuff about training like a gymnast. The very last one, I'm going to put our sponsor one. Shh, don't tell YouTube, but so this will be fun. And then get ready for Chelsie's segment, and I will see you guys soon. All right.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Now, no, it's no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when
consistency. You want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
Hey everyone, I'm Chellsie Memmel. I was world champion in 2005, an Olympian in 2008. I did retire from competitive gymnastics in 2012, but I have been back in the gym doing gymnastics again lately, and a lot of it is just thanks to all of the workouts that I've been doing. So I'm going to take you through a gymnastics style workout today, and I am so excited. Thank you, Danielle, for asking me to be a part of this summit. I know you're warmed up already, so we are just gonna get right into it. Don't forget to have water on hand, because I move at a pretty quick pace. I'm gonna try to slow it down a little bit so to give you time to know what we're gonna do. But yeah, so here it is. We're gonna start with some stuff mainly just for our legs, because we need really strong legs, especially in gymnastics. And this is just what we like to start with. First thing, hamstrings are really important, so we're gonna start with just 5 on each leg, toe touches. 1, 2, 3, and 5. Your knee should not be locked out and straight, it should be soft. 2, 3, and I'm losing my balance. And then we're gonna do airplane arms. So this takes a little bit more balance, but obviously we need that. So arms out to the side and try to rotate your body as your hand touches the floor. Don't just reach down to the floor. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, your knee should be soft. Don't lock your leg out. And switch. 1, whoop, lose my balance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Excellent. Then we're going to start with our arms out to the side, or you can put your hands on your hips, whichever you feel more comfortable. We're just gonna tap, point your toe out forward and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift it and hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Side, I like to put my hands on my hips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want the focus. Now we want our knees straight, our legs tight. 5, and then back. 2, 3, 4, 5. And only hold it or go so high as you are comfortable with. And switch. 1, 2, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're gonna do same thing, 5 taps. Then we're gonna brush our feet together and close. 1, 2, 3, 5, and brush. 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 4, 5. Brush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Side. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brush. 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. 1, 2, 5. Brush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 5. Brush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're gonna lift our leg out. If you are flexible, only go to horizontal. If you're not, only go as high as you can. So you're gonna lift it out, hold it there, and lift up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And switch, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Side. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And switch and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 4, 5. Good. Then we're gonna get into some lunge squats. Keep your core tight and your balance centered, your weight centered. 2, we're gonna do 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and then pulse. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Switch. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and pulse. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we're gonna do wide feet turned out, hands on your hips, and wide squat, goblet squat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Squeeze your tush on the way up. And 10. Oops. And pulse. 2, 4, 8, 9, and 10. Last one we're gonna do for our legs before we do a floor circuit. Start kneeling. We're gonna kneel and then go into a skip. You can swing your arms, but don't pound your knee on the way down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch. If you're not comfortable with a jump, just bring your leg up without it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now we're gonna get into our floor circuit. This has abs, some butt, and some back stuff in it. I like to do 30 seconds each for all of my exercises. When we start doing the circuits, get a drink if you need it. First thing we're gonna start with, legs are up. Flex your feet as your legs drop, and then point on the way up and do a butt up. Okay? That's gonna be our first exercise, and I'll just let you know for each. You ready? And start my timer. Flex, point, butt up. Flex, point, and up. Goal for these is to keep your legs as tight and straight as you can. Almost there. Good. Next exercise, we're going to be doing a log roll into a V-up. Want to stay tight. And again, legs straight and together in the log roll. Go and V-up. Nice and tight. And V-up. And V-up. Legs together in the roll if you can. Squeeze. Almost there. Keep it up. And that's 30. Next exercise, we're going to do 2 side crunch, 2 arch ups, 2 side crunch. Again, staying tight in the transition. You ready? And go. Up, squeeze, and turn. And turn. Tight, feet stay together if you can. Legs tight, feet squeezed. Almost there. And next one we're gonna do laying down leg lifts. leg lift, alternating leg lift and a tuck in. So we're gonna go leg lift, tuck, lift your butt. Leg lift, tuck to get your butt off the ground, good. Again, trying to do these with your legs tight. Feet, ankles, everything staying together. Almost there. Good. Next one we're gonna do, sit in a small straddle, lift up one leg, and do 5 mini circles one way. We're gonna lift, circle, 2, 4, 5, other leg, 1, 2, 4, 5, and then switch backwards. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, and lift, 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 2, 5, almost there, 1, 3, 5, and good. Next one, we're gonna be laying down again. We're gonna lift and tuck side to side. You ready? Arms down is better for this one. Tuck, straight, other side. Lift and tuck. Good. And only go as high as you are comfortable with. But try to get that side crunch. Good. Next one we're going to do, laying on your stomach. We're gonna do 3 leg lifts, 3 legs open, close, and lift, 1, 2, 3, open, close, 1, 3, and lift, 1, 2, 3, open, close, 2, 3, and lift, 1, 2, 3, open, close. Squeezing your tush, legs straight and not bending when they lift. 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and then the next one we're going to be doing a glute bridge and then switch kicks. If you can't do the switch kicks, we're going to do 2 glute bridge, 4 switch kicks. Just alternate your legs. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. And if you can't do the switch kick, just lift your leg, 2, 3, 4. And that's fine. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. And squeeze your tush as you're lifting your butt. And one more thing. Be in a plank. We're gonna do 3 open, closed jumps, followed by 1 tuck in. You ready? And 1, 2, 3, jump into tuck and out. 1, 3, tuck, 1, 2, in, 1, 3, in and out. In and out. Almost there. Keeping your tush down. And that's it. First one is done. Stop my timer, get a drink. Then we're gonna get into our cardio circuit. So again, highly suggest take a drink now. Before we get into this, I'm gonna fix my sock. But these shoes are awesome, by the way. Thank you to Vivo Barefoot, because I don't work out in shoes a lot, but these are super flexible and allow me to flex, point my toes, and also go into releve like we're gonna be doing for the first exercise of this cardio circuit. So again, everything is 30 seconds each. We're gonna do 7 exercises, followed by a 30-second rest, another 7 exercises, 30-second rest, and repeat. First round will be a little bit slower so I can explain to you what we're doing. but then the second round will be quick. Have water, do what you can, try your best, and we're gonna go. First exercise, we're gonna have our feet in first position. We're gonna do 3, lift your toes, 3 releves, and 3 jumps, bringing your heels back together each time. You ready? All right, I'm gonna start the timer, and let's get this. So 3 releves, 2, 3, and 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3, and jump. Good. 1, 2, 3, and jump. 2, 3, and 1. Trying to push through your ankles and toes for the jump when they leave the floor. And that's it. The next exercise we're gonna do is 2 jumping jacks, 2 burpees with the push-up if you can. If not, you don't need to do the push-ups. All right, let's go. Jumping jack, down for a burpee, and 1 more. Keep it up, we got 10 more seconds. And rest. Next one, we're gonna be on the ground. We're gonna do a hollow hold for 3, roll into a plank, and we're gonna alternate sides. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, bring your arms down, roll 1, 2, 3, and up, 1, 2, 3, turn, go the other way, 1, 3, and 1, 2, 3, roll, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, roll, 1, 2, 3, and up, 1, 2, 3, roll, 1, 2, 3, good. Next one we're gonna do is go down in your squat, close open, stand up, all right? And let's go, squat, close open, stand, squat, and squeeze your butt as you stand up. Staying low for that close open jump. Good. Almost there. Breathing. Okay, next exercise, we're gonna do 3 pike push-ups. And then on the 4th one, if you can, add a clap. If not, that's totally fine. You ready? And 1, 2, 3, that clap. 1, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Push away. Good. Next one we're gonna do 3 wide relevé, so on your toes, to plie, 3 of those, 3 jumps. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and jump. 1, 3. Up to your toes, 2, 3, and 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, and 1. Good. Almost there. 3, and good. Next one we're gonna do kneeling, push up and away. Try and keep your body flat. And if you can't do the push up and away, just do your kneeling push-ups. So try and keep straight body. And if that's too much, just do your wide arm push-ups down there. Good job. Almost there. And we get a 30-second rest after this. And rest. we're gonna start with a lunge together, lunge, jump into a wide goblet squat. And we're gonna go in 5 seconds. You ready? And let's go. Lunge and wide. Don't pound your knee. And if jumping is too much, you can just do your lunge, lunge, and go into a wide, okay? Good, next one we're gonna do is reptile push-ups. If those are too hard, just come up and bring your knee out to your elbow. And let's go. Make sure you're breathing. Almost there. Good. Next, we're going to stay down here and do fire hydrant, extend your leg. Ready? And let's go. Extend to straight and down. We're going to do 3 and switch. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and switch. 1, 2, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Almost there. Good. We're gonna next do a side kick, wide squat, jump, side kick. Only kick as high as you are comfortable with. And let's go. Kick, squat, jump, kick, together. Kick, squat, kick, together. Make sure you're using your ankles and your feet each time they leave the floor. Almost there. And good. Next one, we're going to be in high plank and just rocking back and forth. You ready? Just gonna rock. Trying to get your shoulders over your hands. And if the rocking is too much, just try to hold it in this position here with your tush tight and your core squeezed. Almost there. Okay, next one we're gonna do single leg candlestick roll up to a jump. Can't do 2 legs, do both together, okay? Let's get it. And squeeze. Almost there. Good. The last one we're gonna do, because we're training like gymnasts, is a jump, stick, finish. All right, let's get it. Big jump, stick, heels together, finish. Jump, finish. Almost there. And rest. 30-second rest. Then we're going to repeat without the extra resting in between. Seconds, and we start with feet in first, 3 releves, 3 jumps. And let's go, 1, 3, jump, 2, 3. For these releves, make sure your feet and the weight is in the right spot by your big toe. Next exercise is 2 jumping jacks and 2 burpees. And we go. Remember, whoops, 2 push-ups. If you're not good with the push-up, just go down to your plank. Next exercise is our hollow hold, roll to plank. And let's go. 1, 3, roll. And roll the opposite way. And 3. Roll 1, 2, and 3. Get into our squat, close open, stand up. And go at your own pace. It's totally fine if you're not keeping up or if you're going faster than me. Our next exercise is our pike push-ups. 3, and then 1 with a clap if you can. And let's go. 1. Good job, keep it up. Good. 3 wide releve to plie. 2, 3, and jump. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 3. Our next one is our push-up, kneeling push-up and away. And let's get it, last one before our rest. Trying to keep your body flat. And remember, this is too much. Just do your wide arm kneeling push-ups. Almost there. Good, rest 30 seconds. Drink if you need it. Hope your face is red and you're breathing heavy like me. Again, these shoes are awesome. Thank you, Vivo. Because you can totally move and do the movements that I want. Because usually, like I said, I don't wear shoes. And this outfit, killer. Thank you, Viori. Lunge together, lunge. Goblet squat, let's go. 2, and open. And if the jumping is too much, just do your lunges. And be mindful of your knees. Don't pound them. Our next exercise is our reptile push-ups. Let's get it. Bring that knee up to your elbow. Or forego push-up and just try to bring your knee out. Keep going, keep breathing. Our next one is our fire hydrant. Extend. You ready? Extension straight. 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Good. Make sure you're breathing. 1. Our next exercise is our side kick. Wide squat jump. Side kick. Ready? Let's get it. Side kick. Squat. Kick. Close. Remember, only kick as high as you're comfortable with your leg tight. And use your ankles to push away the floor. Next thing we go to is our plank rocks. Let's get it. Squeezing your tush. Slowly going back and forth. Being comfortable with your hands or your shoulders over your hands will really help you in presses. I know you've got a segment coming up for presses. Now we get into our single leg candlestick roll-ups. And again, if one leg is too much, do 2 at the same time. Almost there. Last one. Jump, stick, finish. Bring your heels together. You should be landing with your feet slightly apart. Jump. Finish. 10 more seconds. And done. Woo! Catch my breath. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this workout. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you again, Danielle, for asking me to be a part of it. Thank you, Orris, for this awesome outfit. Super comfy. Check them out if you haven't. And these shoes also are awesome. Bye guys, enjoy the rest of your workout.
Consistency. You want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more, no, no. Yeah.
What's up everybody, my name is Taylor, aka Little T Fitness, and today I am super excited to teach you guys some handstands. So to give you a little bit of background on myself, I am a nationally ranked gymnast for Canada. I was a competitive dancer as well as a cheerleader in university. So for myself, that's kind of like my sports background, and then after graduation I went into personal training, so I own my own business, Little T Fitness, as well as I'm an IFBB Pro fitness athlete. So I compete in the bodybuilding world as a pro. And I teach people lots of skill progressions, calisthenics, all that fun stuff. So that's kind of my passion. So that's why today I am so excited that I get to teach you guys some handstands. So we'll be going over some of my favorite drills, tips, and tricks on how to get your handstand, as well as just mastering the actual hold itself. So the first thing that I want to go through is just overall mobility, making sure that you guys have the overhead mobility, the wrist mobility to get your handstand. So a lot of things that people don't realize in a handstand is you need to have overhead mobility, wrist, and then the biggest one is hamstring. If you guys have tight hamstrings, it's going to be way more difficult for you guys to do a handstand kick up, just because that initial kick with your leg requires a lot of flexibility. So just to kind of break it down piece by piece, let's first start with our wrists. So if you guys can easily with me, just follow along. We're going to see just in general, if you reach your wrists out like this and try to bend them backwards, you want to roughly have almost, if you can, straight up with your mobility in your wrist. If you're someone who's like struggling right here, lots of stretching, lots of massage in your forearms to kind of get that mobility in that area. Obviously that's just like a passive way to do it. More of a hands-on or like active way to stretch out your wrist or to see your mobility is to put pressure through it, so to add weight. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna go down on the floor. You want your hands shoulder width apart, fingers spread, just like you would in your handstand, and we're just gonna shift your weight over your hands. And just kind of see how far you can get your shoulders over your fingertips, and then bring it back. So again, if you're someone who's very tight and you can't get that mobility where you can at least be stacked comfortably, what I would suggest is doing your handstands maybe on dumbbells, so you're in fists, or my personal favorite, the Learmont bars. I do most of my training on my Instagram on those, you'll see that, but I do a lot of flat hand training as well. But for someone who is prone to wrist injury or just doesn't have the mobility, definitely being in a stacked hand position would be something you'd want to look at. So really quickly again, I'll just demonstrate it. You want to start here, you want to bring your shoulders over your fingers, and as long as you're comfortable here, you're in a good spot for handstands. If you can push it a little bit further, then you're in a good spot for anything advanced, so anything like plunge, presses, walking, anything like that. But today we're staying simple, today's just a handstand. So that's your wrist mobility check. The next one you want to do is your lats/shoulder area. So if you can't go overhead, just like that, keeping everything tight, then that's going to be a big problem for your handstand. The major thing that you want to focus on is your chest area. So when your arms go overhead, does it automatically cause a arch in your low back? Does it automatically cause your chest to puff out? What kind of things are happening throughout your body as your arms go up overhead? So one of the biggest mobility or assessments that I do is have someone stand straight against the wall, and all I want them to do is start in a 90-degree angle, and we're going to stretch all the way up to the ceiling. So if you have someone, or if you're someone, that as you're going from here, as you stretch up, you immediately come away from the wall, that means you got to do a lot of work on your mobility in your lats, in your shoulders, just to kind of loosen up that area so you're able to, one, be flexible enough, and then two, have the mobility, so the strength to hold your whole weight on top of your body. So really quickly, ways to stretch out your lats if you are someone who's tight. I'm going to go on the floor again. You guys want to get down on your hands and knees. We're going to go down into a child's pose. So you want your knees just slightly apart. We're going to reach down, and you want to stretch your fingers as far as you can. Relax into the stretch. stretch and deep breathe. If you don't feel a stretch here, you can always walk your hand over. So left arm goes over my right. You're gonna feel a big stretch in your lat. You wanna hold it for about 30 seconds. And then you're gonna do the same thing, going to the left side, right arm over to the left, and then stretching. So those are the biggest drills for your lats. Another one that you can do is the same kind of idea, but you're gonna be holding on to something. So if you hold on to a resistance band or a banister and just hold and then stretch and hinge your hips backwards so you get a nice big stretch through your lats, that's gonna help your overhead mobility a ton. Moving on to the lower body, which is the hamstring, which is a big area most people neglect. This is gonna be really important for you guys. So, super easy. Again, staying nice and tall. If you can come tall, reach down, touch your toes, no problem. You're in a really good spot. If you're someone who's coming up, reaching down, and you have tightness in the back of your legs right away, you need to 100% focus on your hamstring mobility. So regardless if you're tight in your wrists, like your forearms, wrists, lats, or in your hamstrings, 100% you should be working your mobility at least 2 or 3 times a week. That's what I suggest. So going down on the ground, one of the easiest hamstring drills, bringing your one foot into your leg, so around like your hamstring area. This foot is gonna be flexed, taking our arms up. We're gonna reach down and stay nice there for about 30 seconds. So you can do each leg. So this is my left, I would switch, do the same thing on my right. Another really good one that'll actually progress you again to those more complicated or more advanced handstands is pancake. So I always like to line myself up against a wall so I can make sure I'm 90 degrees and then reach forward. Again, you want your toes flexed to the ceiling, just because when it's flexed, it gives you a greater stretch in between, in behind your calf and your hamstring. Another tip too is to puff your chest out when you're reaching forward. A lot of people like to do the pancake and like hollow themselves out like this, reaching. If you are a little bit less flexible, what I do recommend is chest puffed out and reaching forward. Because even if I'm only here, because my chest is puffed out, I'm getting a greater stretch right inside that like adductor hamstring area. So this is gonna be something that's really good for people who are just not as flexible. But again, even though I'm flat, I'm still keeping a proud chest. You can go down if you want, because obviously going down with a flat and a rounded back, that's good for jumps and stuff like that. But again, today we're focused on handstands. So that's going to be the first introductory on mobility for your handstands. Now we're going to see if you guys have this strength. So one of the biggest things that I always do with my clients is work their upper body strength, because if you can't simply like do something as simple as a push-up, handstands probably not for you just yet. So a really good assessment or conditioning for yourself is doing a set of push-ups. So I always train it in a chest dominant. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our hands just outside of our shoulders, starting on the ground. You want your hands your elbows to be at a 45-degree angle. You're gonna push up and then come right down. So a full push-up, your chest just comes above the floor, keeping your head neutral, tummy tight, glutes squeezing, pushing up and down. So that's one drill that I do. It's more of a conditioning towards your handstands rather than like a drill that directly like gives you body alignment for your handstand, but it's just something if you tend to be a little bit weaker in your upper body, definitely work your push-ups. It's gonna go great into your handstands in terms of upper body strength. More specific drills for handstands is nose divers. So this one is one that is an advanced push-up. It doesn't look like it's advanced, and that's the tricky thing about it, is because your bum is high, people assume it's easy. This is going to be great for strengthening your shoulders for handstands. And again, it'll also be good to kind of see what kind of mobility you have in your wrist and your hamstring. So if you're doing these drills, feel a little tight, that's a cue that you need to go back to that mobility that we first started with. So starting in a flat back position, we're going to go up onto our toes. Hands just outside of your shoulders, up on your toes. We're going to nose dive down to the ground and then push straight back up. Down to the ground, straight back up. We're going to go for 10. Good. So the reason why I really like doing that drill is it gives you a good shoulder workout, which is something that's going to be really important for your handstands, but 2, it teaches you a couple of cues along the way. So the major things you want to focus on in this drill is that your legs stay straight. So even in this nice high pike position, your legs should remain straight, they shouldn't bend. You wanna have your weight shifted forward. As the nose comes down to the ground, you're keeping your belly button tight, so you're not letting it go. Belly button stays tight, and as you're moving through space, you keep your body tight the entire time. So down, and then pushing up, nice and tight. So this is just a good warm-up drill, whether you do push-ups or if you do nose divers, if you're someone who's a little bit more advanced. These are really good upper body strength conditioning drills for your handstands. Moving on to a more like alignment-based drill, which is one of my favorites, is gonna be, you're gonna require a resistance band. So I'm using my Train Like a Gymnast band. You can use a big looped band, or you can use just like a little hip band like this. It doesn't have to be anything special, or anything specific, I should say. I put my hands through it, just like this. If you have a big long one, you can always grab it. We're gonna take our feet together. I'll show you from the side. We're gonna squeeze our bum, arms go above head, reaching up to the ceiling and then holding. So major tips here that I wanna see you guys do is keeping your body squeezing, so your glutes are squeezed, your quads are squeezed, your stomach's squeezing. While all of that is tight, we're extending overhead, pushing up to the sky. And as we do that, nothing lets go in between. Everything stays nice and tight, pushing upwards. So the best part about this drill is that it's weightless on your wrist. So this is a good drill to incorporate whether you're a beginner or advanced. So in between the drills where we are in our hands, so say you do a bunch of push-ups, after a superset with a minute of overhead hold. So I call this one straight overhead hold in any of my programs that I create for my clients. And it's basically just a drill to kind of train your brain what it's like to be fully stacked and straight and aligned. So that way when you go upside down, that muscle memory is there and it doesn't feel so foreign, or you don't get as confused in the air. So again, let's do it one more time. Squeezing your bum, arms over your head, looking up, and holding. Biggest thing is you want to make sure your ears are covered by your hands. You don't want to hold your handstand like this, and you don't want to train your body to hold it like that either. Another thing that I think translates really well for most people who are definitely more like weight oriented with their training is picture like when you're doing a leg extension, at the top of your leg extension, how tight you're squeezing your leg is how tight your leg should be squeezing through this entire exercise. Same thing with like how tight you're squeezing your tummy. Imagine doing like a plank or a hollow body rocker. Like how tight your stomach is the exact same tightness you should feel as you do this straight body hold. So when you come out of this hold, you should be exhausted for that 1 minute. You should be like, oh my goodness, like I'm tired. Because you should be squeezing everything so tight. So this is a really good drill in terms of alignment with your handstand. Another one that I really like for alignment with a handstand is just a really simple log roll. The reason why I like log rolls is because it teaches you to be tight, again, through movement. So a lot of my drills are either stationary, like static, or they're dynamic, and you're still having to do the same principles as those static drills where you're just as tight, but now you're moving. Because when you're in a handstand, obviously we would love to just kick up there and be boom, perfect, but there's times where we have to just make minor adjustments, or as you get more advanced, you do have to maintain that tight position while still keeping, you still have to maintain that tight position as you're like moving through space. So for this drill, all you guys are gonna do is you're gonna go on your back. You're gonna have your arms by your ears. Tummy's tucked, back nice and flat against the ground, ankles together. We're gonna put our arms by our ears, hold a hollow body, and then we're gonna roll to the side and then back. So again, that's one of my favorite drills that I do with a lot of my athletes in terms of just training and conditioning for handstands. I find it's a good one because one, it keeps your arms by your ears, which is again something you're gonna have to do in a handstand. Ankles are together, which is again something that we wanna see in our handstands, and our core is tight. So with a lot of drill work, I do like to do it like, not weight bearing versus weight bearing. So something like a hollow body hold or a rocker is really good to superset with something like your actual handstand holds or just like your push-ups, anything like that, just to give your wrists a little bit of a break, because as you are beginning, wrists are gonna feel it a lot. Moving on to another drill that I want you guys to really focus on that I find helps a majority of my clients is the L stand. So this can be done either on a chair, a wall, or a table. Today I'm gonna show you on a chair. chair. All you're gonna do, ultimately the higher the chair is, the easier the exercise will be, just because it'll bring that bum right over top of your shoulders, versus being lower, you have to do a little bit more of the work yourself. So this chair is actually gonna be a little bit low for me, but we're gonna put our feet up, walk my hands in, so my bum is over top of my hands, and we're just gonna hold our L stand. So again, here, what I want you guys to focus on is where the weight is in your hand, and how tight you're squeezing your tummy, and how much you're pushing up to the sky. So to show you a front view, right here, all I'm gonna do, same thing, and I'm gonna show you what it's like to relax. So I'm just chilling, versus actively pushing up, bum over my hands. So the L stand can be done, like I said, against the wall or on a chair. The reason why I like doing it on a chair is, for most clients, doing against the wall, it requires a lot more core activation. So doing it on a chair, having your feet actually just like rest on something versus having to like actively hold them up, this is probably a better progression for a beginner. As you get more advanced, you can just move straight to the wall. So one exercise, you can just do the hold, or you can do what I just did there, where I show you a relaxed state and then a pushing up state. So it's gonna be called L stand shrugs. So you have your simple hold versus your shrugs. Because you are on your hands and a lot of weights on your wrists, if you are just beginning, I recommend reps anywhere between like 5 to 8. If you're a little more advanced and feel more comfortable on your hands, I would recommend sets of 10 to 12. So for myself, I usually do 10 to 12. I'll also practice them on like bars. So I have a parallel burp bars here. And again, that's just kind of more to save my wrists. If you are someone who has a little bit more sensitivity or a previous injury, definitely being in the stack position is going to be a little bit easier for you. Moving on, so we have our L stand drill on the chair. A lot of people struggle with the kick up. A lot of people are like either too scared or they just don't know how to do it necessarily. So there is a technique when you do your kick up. I'm going to go over it really quick. So you're going to take a big step. You want to have your dominant leg forward. So if you're a gymnast, whatever leg you cartwheel with, or if you're not a gymnast, whatever leg, if someone to push you forward, whatever leg you step forward with is your dominant leg. So mine is my left. I'm gonna have my arms start up by my ears because I always train it that way. Just because having a transition from here to here automatically means that you're gonna be in the right position in the stack position versus starting low, then you're automatically probably gonna kick up with your head sticking out. So you wanna have your arms by your ears. We're gonna do a big step. So you're gonna put weight into that front leg, and this leg, so my right leg is gonna kick up nice and powerful, but it's gonna stay straight. So the biggest thing is not bending your leg. So we're gonna do a mini kick, barely come off the ground, and then bring it down. So that's just kind of built up your confidence to kind of feel what it's like to be like, oh my gosh, both legs are off the ground now. So I always recommend for mini kicks anywhere between, again, 5 to 8, a lower number, just because we are in our hands. And if you're someone who's new, it's a little bit scarier. So big reach, mini kick, and then step it back down. Another big tip is that you want to make it a noticeable difference that you are reaching farther than where your foot is. So it's not that you want to have your hands replace your front foot. You actually want to reach for something specific. So my foot is starting here. I'm going to reach for that green band, mini kick, back up. The reason being is that you guys can tell by my leg position, as I reach, my arms and my legs are traveling together. As soon as I try to go for that foot, like I said, my line breaks, and now I'm kind of off kilter, which makes your handstand like 10 times harder to get. So you want to make everything like travel together. It makes it so much easier and way less scary. So as you get more confident with your kicks, you'll get a little higher off the ground, and that's when you can migrate this drill to the wall. So a lot of people have the fear that if they go towards their wall, they're gonna like hit their head or anything like that. But if your arms are by your ears, that should never happen. There should never be a point where your head is like higher up than your hands if your arms are straight. It's just like humanly impossible. So showing you from the back, arms are by my ears, I'm gonna take a step, big reach to the wall, and then kick up. So you always wanna make sure your ankles are together, your legs are squeezed and straight, and then you can come on back down from the wall. So big drills coming up to the wall, because the wall is a scary place for most people, especially as you're just beginning. You wanna You want to feel confident that the wall is going to catch you. So do like a couple kicks, building up to it, and then when you feel like I can do it, do a big kick, and then boom, the wall's right there. A lot of people don't realize that like if you do it tummy facing towards the wall, it's good, but as a beginner, it's way easier to get your alignment better back facing the wall. That's just been my experience with my clients. It's just easier, one, if you're working with someone, for me to spot you with your back to the wall versus your face to the wall, because it's easier for you to come out of it versus like kicking your possible spotting partner next to you. So you can do tummy towards the wall. I don't really train it too much because again, I like doing back against the wall. It's just way better proprioception and you're able to feel your body a lot better in space. So to go over a couple other tidbits of information for the kick, again, like we said, arms by our ears, big step, up against the wall, and holding. So as you're up against the wall, as soon as you touch the wall, don't relax your body. Stay nice and tight, and then grip the ground and press upwards. When you're up against the wall, again, there should be never a point of like relaxation and chilling. You should always be nice and tight. So against the wall, pretend I'm like upside down. Squeeze your belly button into your spine and squeeze your glutes. Doing one of these two things will automatically fix that little arch you have in your back. So squeezing your bum, squeezing your tummy. So if I'm here, squeezing my bum, squeezing my tummy. So just being really aware of like this belt area of your body is going to help you a lot in your handstands. Another drill that I have for people do for handstands is like once you get confident enough with the kick up, you would eventually take one leg off the wall. So you're just in a handstand with one leg and then switch legs. So a single leg wall assisted handstand. So really quickly to go into that, we're going to go up against the wall, hands nice and close. One leg will come off. You're going to squeeze that leg's glute and tummy. Squeeze that leg's glute and toe, and then switch, and then switch. And then come down. So the single leg wall assisted handstand is really good because you have the safety of the wall to keep you up, but then you also have that one free leg coming down to kind of give you an idea of being like, okay, this is what a handstand feels like. This is what it's like to have some of my weight not supported by the wall, but you're not fully just like thrown to the wolves. So definitely practice if you are someone who is like looking to get their handstand. Practice wall assisted single leg handstands. You can even do the same thing but with the L stand. So again, popping up into that chair position, bringing one leg up and one leg down is a really great drill to just kind of feel like what it's like to have some weight off of that one leg. Some weight off of that supported leg so you have more weight on your hands. The biggest tip I have about handstands, and this one goes a long way, is the speed of your kick up. So if your kick up is really, really fast, which I know a lot of people like to do, you're gonna have the problem of either falling boom down this way or overshooting it and falling that way, which we don't want. So if you notice in any of my videos on Instagram, when I enter a handstand, whether it's from straddle or kick up, my legs come together slowly. So it's never a rush process because it's a handstand, we're not in a rush, we're just chilling. You're gonna take a big step, legs almost in like a mini split, and then you slowly bring them together to hold your handstand. Step down. What happens if you do it too fast is that your body doesn't have enough time to adjust to where you are in space. So for instance, I'm going to show you a bad one. If I kick up, my legs come together, I instantly fall. Now, why do you think that is? It's because my weight is over here. So if I have one leg here and the other leg comes to meet it, that's the max amount of height I'm going to get because I've now killed my momentum. And now majority of my weight is on my tummy side. So obviously I'm going to fall. There's just no way I can fight it or hold it or save it. Same idea goes with going this way. If you kick up too high and you bring that leg in too fast, your body doesn't have time to, I call it like catching you. So if I go too fast, I just overshoot the handstand completely and my poor body doesn't have time to catch me or like help me out. So that's why we like to do a nice slow kick up. So like I said, big reach, mini split, coming up, feet together. It doesn't have to be that segmented. I'm just doing that for exaggeration. You can do it like more fluid. So big kick and then up for a more fluid handstand. But again, just as you're practicing, that's something that those mini kicks can turn into. So the first, remember the mini kick drill? Where we went like, little kick, if you're here, learn to mini kick to about a split handstand, and then you can bring your legs together. That's gonna be like my biggest tip of all time on how to get your handstands just way more consistent and being able to hold it. A lot of people's problem is that they're like, oh, I can get up to handstand, but I can't hold it. Or, oh, I can get up to handstand, but then I like walk a couple feet. That's because you're just bringing your legs together too fast. All right, so now we're gonna mash all these drills up together and we're gonna just practice like straight on handstands. So, I'm just gonna check what time I'm at. I'm also out of breath. Okay. So that's my biggest tip for handstands. All right, so just to kind of give you guys a good summary of what I went over today in my workshop. All right. So those are my big major tips for doing handstands and probably my top favorite drills for handstands. So to give you guys a quick summary, what are some things that we want to work on? One, your mobility, whether it's in your shoulders, wrists, and hamstrings. That's going to be a major reason to get your handstand, or like the consistency towards it. Step number 2 is your overall upper body strength. So that's working your push-ups, your nose divers, your core, all that really good stuff. Tip number 3 is knowing what your body's doing in space and actually going into an inversion. So the inversions that we did today was the L stand off the chair, the wall assisted handstand, and of course the mini kicks. The reason why I don't teach handstands from a headstand or an elbow stand is just because they're so different. If you're someone who just wants to get familiar with your body's like in space upside down, for sure, headstand, elbow stand works perfectly. If you're someone who likes to just like feel what it's like to have your pikes, like your hips piked or bum squeezing, going into an elbow stand and just playing around with those positions, really great. But in terms of learning what it's like to actually hold in your hands, headstand and elbow stand, in my opinion, don't translate well. At least it hasn't with any of my clients. Moving on to that, we want to actually talk about the technique of your handstand, which is 1, squeezing everything. Everything should be nice and tight. And then number 2, the speed of your kick up, which is the biggest drill and the biggest advice that I can give, is doing those mini kicks, stopping in that like mini handstand, and then bringing it all together to hold nice and solid. So to give you guys a good summary, that's everything that I have for in terms of handstands. Another big in terms of handstands. Oh, one thing. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, but just in case I didn't, the weight in your fingertips. Like I said, remember, we want it in the callus of your hand and your fingertips right through here. So imagine you are a cat in the sand and you have to just like grip the dirt or the grass, whatever. That's what these are for. Again, you want to have your fingers far apart and spread so you have a wider base of support. And in terms of eyesight and gaze, you want to be looking between your Peter pointer and your thumb, right like this. Again, your ears should always be covered by your arms. As soon as you stick your head out, you get an angle through your shoulders and you're just breaking the line right away. For people who are working more things like planche and press to handstand, totally different story, but for a straight handstand hold, covered your ears the entire time. All right, so that is it for today's part of the summit for handstand holds. I hope you guys learned a bunch and you really like the drills. If you do any of these drills, make sure you tag me on Instagram at @LittleTFitness. And if you're looking for further guidance, make sure you guys shoot me a DM or a message. I do take online clients, whether you're an online monthly client or we do one-on-one consultation for your skill drills and handstands. I do teach more than just handstands. I do a lot of progressions for push-ups, or if you're part of the fitness category, or if you're just wanting to get into calisthenics and flipping artistic movements in general. I also specialize in strength training and transformations as a personal trainer. So make sure you guys check me out. I had so much fun teaching today, and have fun in your next part of the summit.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. Just thought I should let you know. Time now
consistency. You want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
Welcome back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your handstand segment with Taylor. Now that she's gone over that, I'm just going to try to help you figure out how to press up into handstand instead of kicking up into handstand. Before we start, if you are outside, the Vivo barefoot shoes are an excellent choice. However, I am inside, so I'm going to take them off so I don't scuff up the carpet and make everything dirty. But outside, they're excellent because they're super lightweight and you can still kind of point your toes inside the shoe, which makes me really happy. Also, we have these super stretchy, fun, comfortable clothes from Roan so they don't get stuck when you're going through all your different flexibility positions. So thank you to both of them. My name is Nathan Tsuji. I've been a gymnast my entire life. I first wandered into a gym when I was about 3 years old. I've been competing ever since. I did 5 years of collegiate gymnastics at the University of Washington. I retired last year and joined Cirque du Soleil's new show, Under the Same Sky. COVID kind of stopped us from premiering, and hopefully that'll happen again next year. But enough about me, let's get you into a press. So, the one thing that I want you to remember is if something hurts, if you have a sharp pain or you feel uncomfortable, skip it, pass it, don't hurt yourself. Be careful. Also, if you can't quite do a handstand yet, that's absolutely okay. This is just something that's going to happen in the future for you. There's still going to be some drills that you can do, so take notes, follow along, and just see what you're going to start working on in the future. The first thing about a press is that you are going to be going through a lot of positions that require you to bend. A lot of people think a press is a lot of strength. It is, but the more flexible you are, the easier the press is going to be. So the first thing you want to be able to do in order to do a press, a pancake is going to help a lot. You don't need a super wide pancake, just however your legs want to open is fine. And then just stretch on forward as far as you can and make sure that your quads are engaged. You don't want to be relaxed because a press is an active position. You can't do a press if nothing is squeezed. So just come down here and practice squeezing your quads as best as you can. You can pretend that you're on the floor, but it doesn't really matter that much. And sit up. The next thing that happens when you're going up into a press, you start here and then you press up into a handstand. A good way to practice that is you can start laying on your back, sitting up, straddle, come through to here, and then from here it's like you're in a standing straddle, and swim through and press up into your floor handstand. Go ahead and try that about 3 times on your own, making sure to keep everything super engaged. So, lie on your back, sit up, straddle, come through, get nice tight position, and pull your legs through. That's 1. Lay on your back, and sit up, straddle, go on forwards, make sure your quads are engaged, you're pushing down on your imaginary floor, and swim your legs through. That's 2. Lay down, sit up, straddle, through, press on the floor, and swim your legs through. Awesome. And you can do as many swim throughs a day as you want. It's good for flexibility. Not too much strength, but it's still good for you. After that, another thing that's really important to remember about press is you have to be able to lift your legs up. I don't like these, I'm not very good at them, but every press course has to have it and everybody needs to know at least how to do them. So, they're just leg lifts. So squeeze your quads, put your hands out. You can put them closer if you need to, that's gonna make it easier. The further out you go, the harder it's gonna be. But let's just start in between your knees. Put your hands down on the ground, put some weight in your hands and just try to lift your legs this way. So let's try to do, let's start with 5, make it easy, because more than that, your quads might start to cramp. Well, mine will, yours probably won't. Anyways, hands down and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. They didn't fully cramp, yay. I have my book with me because I like to write down things when I work out, especially if you're going into a workout on your own. For me, if I don't write it down, I tend to not do the whole thing because it's really fun to get inspired before your workout and be like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. And if you don't write it down, when you go, you'll be like, maybe I didn't actually say I was gonna do that, and then you skimp out. So writing things down helps keep you true to what you were planning on doing. So we did our swim throughs, we did our leg lifts. After that, you wanna make sure that your wrists are warmed up because in a press, we talked about the flexibility of the swim through, but obviously we can't all just press through into a perfect little middle split and go up without leaning. So you're gonna wanna be able to have your wrists warmed up so you can lean forwards. So you can just come up on your knees, put some pressure on your wrists. I call these your elbow pits, you know, that's just what I do. When you're doing a press, you wanna make sure that they are forwards. If your elbows go this way, they tend to bend, and you can see how it's just not generating a very strong position through here. So put them down and just practice rotating your elbows, bringing them forwards, bringing them forwards. So just, if you're following along, let's just do 5 together. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold them as far forward as you can, and lean, and come back, and rest. I know that might be a new, weird motion, but trying to rotate your elbows forward just puts everything more into the correct shape, and you will be stronger in the press position. After that, there are more strength-related things that we need to do for a press. So, we did the straddle leg lifts. Now I'm going to move on to the straddle leans. So we're not going to be pressing from a straddle to start with. You're just going to stand in a standing straddle. Put your hands down. Remember we talked about getting your elbow pits forward. And you're just going to lean forward and lift up onto your toes and come back. So we'll just start with that and let's rock forward 5 times. Trying to lean as far as you can so you feel like you're going to almost fall over and then bring it back. So lean forwards. 1, 2. Make sure you're keeping your elbows straight. 3, 4. Last one. And 5. Lean as far as you can, and come back. Relax. Good. After that, if that felt good, you can move on to the next step of this. Otherwise, you can do the same one again. But on this one, we're going to try to lift off your feet just slightly. So when you lean forwards, you're going to come here and just try to lift your toes up. They might hop up a little bit. They might lift a little higher. You might end up falling forwards. It's okay. Just do your best. But we're going to try to lift our toes up 5 times. And lean forward. 1. And 2. Make sure you're keeping your elbows straight. 3, 4, and 5. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a couple seconds to get some water in case you're getting thirsty, because I know I'm starting to heat up a little bit. I'm gonna make sure we're going in the right order. Yes. Give about 10 more seconds and we will work on just a straddle, just a simple straddle. Cool. All right, I'm gonna pretend that all of you just came back in perfect timing. So for straddle, it's fairly simple. Put your hands down, push just like the leg lift, except you bring your butt up. I kind of rest my legs on my arms, makes it a little easier, so we're not getting judged, so we can do what we want. I like to go this way, and just lean forwards here. And then just kind of relax down. So let's try to just lift up and hold for 5 seconds. Ready? And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. If you can hold it without your legs and your arms, it's much better. I'm just not very good at it, so I put my legs on my arms. It's okay, we're not working straddle-Ls, we're working presses. After the straddle-L, we have, that's like your starting position, handstands your finishing position. So I like to work in reverse. So you know how to lean, remember the correct position of your elbows, which is rotating them forwards, and I like to start in reverse, like I said. So you'll just kick up against the wall, up into a handstand, back against the wall. You don't want your hands super, super, super close to the wall, because then when you try to press down, you're not going to have the counterbalance on your hands to come down super slowly. So about this much room, and if you're not far enough away from the wall, just change it on your next one. So kick up to handstand, and I like to round my shoulders, put my shoulders against the wall, and then from here, just straddle, doing a reverse press as slow as you can down till your toes touch, and then relax and stand up. Go ahead and try that. I would say let me know how it goes, but I think I'll be able to reply in the comments. So yeah, let me know how it goes. And I'll do like 3 more with you. So if you can do it as slow as I can, that'd be great. And kick up the handstand. Round your shoulders, lean forward, straddle, straddle, straddle. Engage your quads, bring them down. Slower, slower, hold it. Engage everything, and touch. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Shake out your wrists. And kick up. We have 2 more. Up and lean forward till you're touching the wall. Remember to always push through your shoulders. Straddle, squeeze your quads. Lower, 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 lower. And touch. Okay. Let the blood come back down to the rest of your body. I really need a haircut, but quarantine won't let that happen. Last one, kick up. And straddle. Making sure your toes are pointed, quads are engaged, pushing through your shoulders. Elbow pits towards the wall. Down, 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 and touch. Relax for a second. Whew. I haven't done those in a while. Go ahead and take like 30 to 45 seconds. Go grab some water, relax, or breathe, catch your breath. Do what you need to do. Cue the weird little music so you can take a drink of water, and it sounds like I'm still talking. Drinking water would be easier to time this. I don't know. It's okay. So, yeah, that was a false start. Now you're back though. So we just did against the wall, we kicked up to a handstand, and then we did the second half of a press handstand, but we did it in reverse. So now we're gonna do the first half of a press handstand in reverse. So remember how we did the straddle leans earlier where you stood here, hands on the ground, leaning forwards? Same thing, remember with your elbows, they like to. You need to have the elbow pits forwards. Hopefully you answered it on your own. So just come from here, and we're not gonna worry about going to straddle L yet. We're just gonna lean forward so your toes come up, and you're just gonna try to control down into a seated straddle and make as little noise as possible, but don't worry about holding a straddle L yet. So come up here, put your hands down, elbow pits forwards, squeeze tight through your shoulders, push up tall. Right when your feet come off, try to lower, and you can let your toes and your feet slide on the carpet as you come down to this position, trying to be as quiet as possible. Go ahead and try 5 of those on your own. I'll just do it from different angles for a little bit so you can see what it might look like from a different angle. Hands down, elbow pits forwards. Here, lean, 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 lean. And then just kind of slide your toes down. Here. And then if we're this way, here, push, tall, engage, elbows forward, lean, push, 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 and slide down. Good. All right, I'll give you time to do 1 or 2 more of those on your own. Make sure you always, when you're pushing, you don't want to have your head out in a big arch position like this. You want to be round all through your shoulders, all through your upper back, engaging through your chest. Go ahead and do about 1 more, and then we're going to try to bring you down into a straddle L. Like I said before, if you don't have your handstand, you're just taking notes now, you can always still try these. They're not super dangerous. We have the floor. You're not, doing anything crazy. If this one was hard, just as hard as you could do this one again as we try to go into straddle L. So this time, It's the same exact exercise, except you're gonna squeeze your core and engage the leg lift muscles a little bit more to keep your feet off the ground and come back down to a straddle. So same position, standing straddle, good elbows, good shoulders, squeezing tight, lean forwards, feet up, engage your leg lift muscles, and lower down into a straddle. And then sit down and relax. You might start to feel it right through here. I always feel it right here when I do straddles. Every single time, ever since I was a kid. Don't feel bad. I still cramp sometimes. Haven't yet, but it might happen. Go ahead and try 3 of those on your own. I'll do 2, maybe 3. So from the side, it looks like this, same thing. Here, up, engage, push, feet up, engage your leg lift muscles, and lower down to straddle. Hopefully they look straight, because you always want your legs to be straight. From the side, here, up. And if you're doing it and you're doing really well right now, I'm proud of you. And engage, push tall, up, here, feet up, engage those leg lift muscles, straddle, and relax. All right, that was a lot of the stuff that you can do for the reverse press. Obviously, those are gonna be a little easier because we're working with gravity. Gravity's always trying to pull us down, and in most gymnastics things, we're trying to tell gravity, I'm gonna do it my way. So everything that we just did, I'm gonna go over how to do it in reverse, or the correct way. So, what we did before, so standing straddle, sit, standing straddle, hold, press work. The first thing we did was we started a handstand, lowered our feet down until we barely touched, then we relaxed. So on this one, same thing except in reverse. You're gonna stay in a standing straddle, face against the wall. Then you're gonna put your back against the wall, but hands down, maybe 6 to 8 inches away from the wall, and you're gonna push up, lean, 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 until your shoulders touch the wall. That's gonna make your life a lot easier. From here, engage those leg lift muscles, squeeze, 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 and press up into a handstand. Once you're here, you can go ahead and get your shoulders off the wall. Then I like to lean forwards again. Straddle, 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 and come down. If you were able to do that, not super difficult on your own, I want you to try to go up and down and up and down. Maybe a set of 3, do it with me. Otherwise, just kick up the handstand, come down, and then from the down position, press back up. So, I'm gonna do 3. Here, leaning forward, straddle against the wall, and up, and down. Go until you just touch your toes, and back up, and back down, till you just touch your toes right there. You don't need to relax all the way down, just till you just touch your toes, and come back up. And my toes start shaking. And if my toes are shaking, you're probably, well, I didn't do Taylor's thing, so you're probably a little more tired. Go ahead and get some water, just relax, shake out your wrists. I'm gonna give you 45 seconds, just. Water. Yes. Close your presses in. Okay, so hopefully you're back now, and you pressed up. Do as many of those as you want. Repetitions of those. Second half of the press. It's good for your shoulder strength, good for pretty much everything. After that, you're gonna press up, not from a straddle, because that's harder. I like to do things in progressions. So hopefully everybody knows what a candlestick is. If not, it'll make sense in a second. You're just gonna roll up into a candlestick, come down, come through a straddle, and just try to lift your feet up as much as possible. If you're not quite strong enough to do it, it'll look something like this, here, and you'll come through and be like, Heh! That happened to me a lot in my childhood, trying to learn to press. I would come back, and I would come here, and then my legs would slam on the floor before my hands hit. Try to get your hands on as soon as possible, because that's your main support base for your handstand and for your press. You're pressing into a handstand. So up, and try to keep those leg lift muscles engaged. So when you're here, your legs are still up, and then you can put your hands down And from here, push down, round your chest, turn your elbow pits forward, and try to slide your feet up. So up, down, and you can go ahead and do this and just try to press your feet together. Just sliding them in, having pressure on your feet and your hands, that's okay. So let's try to do 2 or 3 of those press slides. So up to candlestick, through, keep your feet up, pressure, slide your feet together, move your hands forward if you want. We're just getting the motion of the press. If this is easy for you, don't worry about it. If this is difficult for you, don't worry about it. You're all making progress. Everyone moves at their own pace, especially since this isn't a competition. It's just for you to try to make yourself better. So you don't have to base your success off anyone else's speed. It's just up to you. Try to make a little bit of progress each day with you is all you need to focus on, and you will get better. So one more of the slides. So lean back, engage the leg lift muscles, come down, keep your feet up. Whoop. Keep your feet up off the floor, hands down, and slide your feet up. After that, you can go into the straddle up position, the one I said earlier, where if you put your legs on your arm and it makes it a little easier, it's even easier from candlestick. So you just kind of go up in your candlestick, come down, squeeze your legs on your arms a little bit. Some will say it's cheating, but it doesn't matter. You're still pressing. And then from there, just push up and try to bring your feet up without them touching the floor. If you're not able to do that, just still slide your feet. It's fine. So candlestick back, up, down, engage those leg lift muscles here and together. A lot of times your toes will scrape. If you can do it without your toes scraping every time, you're doing really well, because mine just scraped. All right, let's do 2 more just like that. Breathe. I always go too fast. Anyways, lean back, candlestick, engage your legs, push on your hands, press up, and my toes are still scraping the floor. I will try to fix it on this one. And lean back, candlestick, feet up, squeeze your legs, and press. Ah, they scraped again. I'm so embarrassed. It's okay. We'll move on. After straddle out, or after candlestick, straddle out, press to feet. You can just do standard straddle out, press to feet. Same thing, you just don't have the momentum pushing you up into it. So just come here, up, hit your straddle out position, squeeze, push, and go to there. If you like, and you're doing really well at this point, you can go from there and you can press up to handstand. It's the same progression we did earlier, except without the wall. So everybody can go ahead and try this. It's just like when you stood on your feet, put your hands down, you lean forward, and you just start to bring your toes off. However much you feel comfortable, bring your toes off and try to get up into a straddle handstand. Don't worry about bringing your feet together yet, and I'll explain what the straddle handstand is. So you're here, lean forward, and if this is all you can do, that's okay. But if you engage and you're feeling strong, you can come here and do this little half of the half press and come back down. If you're doing that, you're doing quite well. So then you can combine a lot of this together. If you're not quite at that stage where you can combine stuff together, you can do the sections you can and then work on the other stuff later. So, candlestick, come to here, and then just kind of go here. I can't see you do that, so I'll just pretend you did it all. So, go ahead and straddle out. Here, press up to your feet, and then from your feet, lean forwards, engage, press up to straddle handstand, and if you want, you can bring your legs together, and then come down. If you brought your legs together, you just did a handstand, or handstand, yeah, press handstand. Good job! I'm thirsty again, so you guys are probably thirsty again. Get some water. All right, so everybody is probably almost back now. Everything that I've just given you is just a breakdown of a press handstand. It might seem obvious, it might not have seemed obvious. I just tried to cover a lot of the stuff that I could. If you have any questions fire them at me now, because I'll be able to type back, and we'll just answer anything that you have. So feel free to fire them away right now, and while you're firing those questions, if you don't have any questions, I'm just going to do a quick review of everything that we covered, using my notes so I don't forget anything. The flag, it's the flexibility. So, flexibility for a press handstand is pancake and the ability to swim through a pancake. Because the more you can do that, the less you have to lean forward to counteract or counterbalance the weight of your legs. The other flexibility you need is just a little bit of flex in your wrists, which most of you probably already have, so don't worry about that too much. The shapes in your elbows, that's one that I haven't always heard coaches teach. I always taught it, and I always liked it, is the elbow pits forward. Doing that it really puts everything into a nice position. It gets you engaged, it gets the correct muscles engaged. Sometimes it'll feel harder because we've been doing presses this way our whole life, but this way, once you develop the strength, it makes a much nicer line. The strength stuff, the leg lifts, I don't want to do them again. My quads are going to cramp, but we all know what they are. Here, hands closer in is easier. Hands further out, I can just hyperextend my legs here. I can't lift them up. It's not going to happen. So if your leg lift's a little weak, don't worry about it. I can still do a press. You can still do a press, but it will make your life a lot easier. Oh, you can also do circles if you feel like it. This way or this way. All sorts of leg lifts, always, always good. Then, straddle L hold, because that's, the starting position. Up here, engage, straddle L. Putting your legs on your arms makes it easier. Then we did the reverse presses, where you just kick up into a handstand, engage, 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 making sure that you have a decent amount of distance right here, otherwise you won't be able to lean forward enough to come down slowly, just like this, and barely touch. After that, we came over here, and just like you finish the position of the first part of the reverse stretch, you come here, lift your toes up, and you get to slide your feet down if you're not quite strong enough to have your feet up. Going into a straddle L, having your feet up in a straddle L looks like this. Yay. Then, obviously, you just came down, we did all the press in reverse, so then we started going back up. Came from candlestick, because it gives you some momentum. Candlestick up, here. I let you slide your feet if you wanted to, even if you get stuck here, or come back up. Sliding your feet is okay. Remember, my toes still brush. Hopefully I do this one without my toes touching, and finally redeem myself. The next one is candlestick, roll through straddle L, press up without your feet touching into a standing straddle stand. Up, down, engage. I still touched! No, it's okay. Then, from here, you just try the second half of your press. No, wait, we did it against the wall. You come against the wall, and you lean in until your shoulders are touching, making sure there's enough space that you actually are able to counterbalance the weight of your legs, and press up, engaging your quads, engaging your shoulders. You don't want to be relaxed down here. Always push up tall, and coming back down. And you can do as many sets of these as you want, and it'll help you get stronger. And obviously the least amount of weight you put on the wall, the stronger you get. Once you can do 3 to 5 in a row against the wall, feel free to start doing those sets out here without the wall, trying to lean forward as little as possible by using active flexibility through your legs. Lean forward and come up, feet together and back down. Then you just put all of that together and you have a press handstand. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will actually be able to hopefully I'm typing a bunch of answers to your questions right now, and hopefully you like my answers. If not, just let me know and I'll try to be more specific about answering you. You can find me on Instagram, that's where I post most of my stuff, at Nathan Tsuji. It's mainly gymnastics related, and because I was in a creation for Cirque, I didn't have a lot of content recently, but hopefully moving forwards, I will be able to post more. I think that's about all I have, and I'm probably running out of time. But thank you, Danielle Gray, for having me. This has been super fun, and I look forward to seeing everybody else in the summit. Anyways, thank you.
Consistency. You want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
Time to sort out all the fights, sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. Oh yeah. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Now, no, it's no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Now, no, it's no more, no, no. Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Michelle Andrews and I'm so excited to be a part of Train Like a Gymnast June Summit sessions. My sessions are going to go over tips and techniques and references you could use in your training for bridges and progressions into kickovers. Before we get started, I'd like to shout out to Viore Clothing. This is the first time I've heard of the brand, but it's super comfortable. Thank you so much, guys. I really dig the apparel. And also, Vivo Footwear. They're rad. I really like them. Also, when it comes to doing gymnastic skills, I just want you to be aware you are at risk of injury, at your own risk of injury. So please, if you are uncomfortable doing something, I would advise you just to stick with what you're comfortable with. If there's something that you haven't done before by yourself, I would advise you to wait until you're with a coach to help spot you or give you proper help. I just really want to stress safety. If anything hurts, don't push it. Yeah, because I want you to have fun, but I want you to be safe too. Cool, so yeah. Also, if you have any injury, please take note of that. If you have anything that hurts, or if you just need to take a break and have water and stretch and whatnot, feel free to do so, because it could be a lot on like your back and your body, especially after coming from 2 sessions. Yeah, and about me, I was a competitive gymnast for 6 years. I've been coaching gymnastics for 10. I'm currently studying my CPT training with NASM. So fitness and acrobatics and all that has been a huge part of my life. So I'm excited to share some of what I know with you. Yeah, so let's go ahead and warm up. We're gonna start with the wrists. We're gonna do some rolls to the outside and inside. You can just kind of get them nice and warm, because you are gonna be on your hands quite a bit as well. Go ahead and go on your hands and knees. Hands face up, flip them over and press them into the mat. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go ahead and roll 3 times to the left and 3 to the right. And then look at your hands again and flip them the other direction. Press back. Nice. And go ahead and flick your fingers, get the blood pumping. Do it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your hands down and come up into a forward fold. Let yourself hang. Again, if this is too much of a stretch for you, you could do like a half fold or keep your knees bent, just wherever you feel a comfortable stretch. If you want anything to hurt, I'm going to drop down 1, 2, and up, down, and up. And go ahead and take a seat. And we're going to stretch forward twice and hold for 2 seconds. So 1, 2, hold 1, 2, 1, 2, hold 1, 2, 1, 2, hold 1, 2, 2, hold 1, 2. And I believe we have one more. 1, 2, hold 1, 2. Very nice. And now you're going to take your hands and place them behind you. Have your pinkies touch. We're going to get a nice stretch into our shoulders. I like to kind of rock from shoulder to shoulder when I do this one. You don't have to. You could just hold here. And just whatever feels comfortable to you. That's a good warm up. And now we're going to turn our hands the other way, fingertips face forward, and press back into the elbows. And now for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to do a little bit of a deeper stretch in our shoulders, because in your bridges you really want to make sure that you have a nice open shoulders, shoulder angle and chest. So we call this puppy stretch. All right, coach, and you're going to press your armpits into the ground, kind of have your tush in the air. We're going to hold 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, and up. We're going to do 5 of these, and if that is not a good enough stretch for you, then you could do something deeper. Go ahead and find a little bit of a higher platform and press down. 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, up. Now we're going to hold for the last one for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come to our backs to activate some of our glutes and our legs. We're going to do hip thrust. We're going to lift and hold 1, 2, and control down. 1, 2, control down. 3 more. 1, 2, control down. 1, 2, control down. 1, 2, control down. And we're going to come up to a tabletop. I'm going to press for 1, 2, down. And do 5 of these. 1, 2, down. 1, 2, down. 1, 2, down. And 1, 2, down. And also go ahead and take your ankles and warm them up. Do some circles with them, both in and out. And other ankle. You're going to be pushing through your feet as you kick over, and I'll get more into detail once we get to that part of this session. All right, so now that we're warmed up a bit, I just want to stress that when it comes to kicking over, there is a certain shoulder angle that you have to already have flexibility-wise to have a successful kickover. I'll touch more base into that as we get further into our sessions, but for now we're going to start working on pressing open in our shoulders and what we want in just a bridge and how to safely get into a bridge and out. So if you come to your back, I'm going to move this mat for now. And yeah, if you have a yoga mat or something to try it on, do so, just something that gives you a little extra cushion. But you're going to lay on your back, and you're going to walk your feet in, not too far out or too close to your butt. You just kind of want to have just like under your knees or a little bit in front of your knees. And then as for your hands, it's like you're holding pizzas, and then you smush them into the ground. I like to have my fingertips face my shoulders, and my arms or my hands are about where my ears are. You don't want to be like right underneath here or too far out either. So once you're here, you're going to push through your legs and your arms at the same time and open the chest. Now eventually you want to get to your legs together and straight, hips open, armpits open, really pushing those shoulders over your wrists for your bridge. If right now your flexibility has you here, that's fine. Work with where you're at. And then we're going to go ahead when we come down, look at your belly button, bend your arms, and then make sure you're like you're landing about here on your upper back when you land, or at least the back of your head, just to keep everything safe. And you can like roll down your spine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to push up to our bridge again, and we're going to do bridge rocks, and this drill helps push the shoulders open. So you're going to, same thing, hands on the ground, push up, and from here you're just going to rock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And come on down. And now let's go ahead and rock and roll. Whenever you're feeling like your back might be tired, you can do this. Make sure you stay nice and round to like roll through your vertebrae, and it's kind of like a little massage on your back. And since we're doing a lot of opening, it's good to have like concave to balance it out. And Just reset everything. All right, 2 more. Find your hands and feet. Push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come down. Now for the last one, I'm going to show how you could use a mat or something that's a bit elevated to help you with your flexibility. Make sure if you have something that's going to help you with your flexibility that it's safe and it won't slide on you. And nothing too crazy high. You want to kind of keep, I think I like this height. A little bit higher could be fine, but I feel like a couch or chair might be like too high. And then it's kind of further for you to find the floor. So you want to, again, just be safe. So you can find your mat, and when you lay on it so that your back is supported. And then you can find your hands, and from here, it just gives you more room to kind of push those shoulders open. Again, if you're not here yet, you could be here, you could rock on the mat. Just what you want to work on is just finding that proper shoulder angle. And then same thing to come down, just protect the head and roll down the vertebrae. So that's essentially one way you could get into your back bend, and a drill you could use to kind of open those shoulders and work with your shoulder flexibility. I'm going to show you a cool kind of different way to get into a bridge as well, just for fun. Again, if you're not comfortable with maybe getting into a bridge this way, just work on what you're comfortable with and you feel safest with. For this one, you're going to take a hand and place it behind you, fingertips behind you, and you're going to think about swinging your arm to the side and making a big circle. And as you do so, you're going to kind of follow that hand with your eyes. So I'll go slow motion. And as I'm going, I'm kind of leaning into this hip and pushing off my legs. I'm watching my hand with my eyes. I find my hand, and then I place the other hand down, and I find my bridge. And down. So one more time, it doesn't matter. Right hand could go back, and that just means the left hand circles around. My left hand, right hand circles around. So a little faster, you're here. Reach and press. So that's kind of something you could play with as well if you'd like. Next, let's go ahead and talk about kickovers. So for a kickover, like I said, that shoulder angle is really important. If you don't have the flexibility or the safety for it yet, I would recommend just to keep working on those drills and stretches and really getting that correct shoulder angle, because if your shoulders are closed, kicking over won't be safe, and you won't necessarily make it around, and we want to avoid that. So if right now you're not at the point of kicking over, what you can practice is lifting a leg up. And I like to do both legs just to keep the muscles balanced. And then when I go into actual kickover, I'll kind of break down my stepping for that a bit more. So you find your bridge, and I step 1 foot close, and then you want to lift it up, and you can hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds. We'll do 5 here, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot down. Go ahead and put the other leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now when you're doing this, what you want to avoid are these angles. Like, see how my shoulders are collapsed? I don't have the right shoulder angle. I'm not supporting in that bottom leg. You want to make sure you're pushing through the bottom leg and pushing through those shoulders. And come on down. So go ahead and practice that a few times if that's where you're at with your bridge progressions and you're not quite to a kickover yet. But if you are ready to kick over and it's something that you've practiced before, I'm going to kind of go over the tips and technique that I find helpful. This technique is your friend. Before we do that, let's go ahead and warm up some leg kicks, because we want to make sure we have a nice tight leg as it comes over. So you can just come to your elbows. We're going to do 5 on each leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, over, the leg that's kicking, so what I call your supporting leg is the one that is gonna be on the floor and be the one to push off the floor. And the first leg to go over I refer to as the kicking leg. I'm a righty, so my right leg is the one that I like to kick over. And what you want to avoid is kind of like bending it over. And instead you want to use your muscles in your quad and your, I'm blanking on this. Sorry. It'll come back to me. But you want to use like your quad and your leg muscles to kick over, or your hip flexor. So you want to keep, everything nice and tight. Because when you have the right technique, you're building the right muscles, and it's gonna lead to other skills being attained more properly. Okay, so when I kick over, I lay on my back, I push up to bridge, and I find my prep. When I say prep, that means I step my not kicking leg, my not favorite leg, close to my body, and my favorite leg's gonna be straight and pointed for a good kick over. And pay attention to my shoulders because they're gonna act as a leverage. You really wanna press those shoulders open because it's gonna pull you this way, and then when your feet come to the top, then you could shrug top through your shoulders like a handstand position, and then continue to step out. So you're here, you're gonna go ahead and push up to your bridge. Now you're gonna walk this way, just a little frame more, and prep. So this leg steps in, kicking leg is nice and tight. Now I'm going to keep my armpits open as I kick. I'm going to push through my bottom foot and push tall through the shoulders as I come over the top. I'll show you an example of what you want to avoid, which is like the bending over and like the arching over. Like you really want to make sure that you keep your like back safe in this, so you're pressing through your hips and your shoulders. So what you want to avoid is being here and just kind of like, if you can see the difference, I'm sure you can. I kind of exaggerate sometimes of what not to do just so it's like a clear difference between the two. So let's go ahead and work on our bridge. Kick over one more time. Find your hands. Open, find your prep, kick, and push. Cool, so go ahead and try a couple of those if that's where you're at with your practice on your own. I'm just gonna grab a little drink of water. And again, you can always use a mat to help you if like you're still working on that shoulder flexibility to really open the chest. So I'll show you one on the mat as well. Same idea, just elevated, it's a little bit of help. Prep, kick and push. And if you pay attention, I like to always keep my arms by my ears. So I have this nice open, and then as I go into that L handstand position at the top, I like to just shrug here and keep everything close to my ears. All right. So those are some progressions that you could do on the floor for bridges to bridge kickover. Now I'm going to go into what's called a tick-tock, and that's essentially you're coming from an L handstand opening to your bridge, then to your kickover. If this is something you've done before and you want to practice, great. And I'm going to stress again safety first. So if you haven't done this before, you don't feel comfortable, stick to what you're comfortable with. And safety first is huge to me. Like even in my whole career as a stunt woman and aerialist, it's just stressed. So I'm going to stress it to you guys because it's key, it's important. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate a tick-tock first, just so you guys can know what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to do kind of a few warm-ups for it and then break it down. So for a tick-tock, you find your hands, L handstand, push to the shoulders, tap the foot, kick back over, and up. So you can also connect them if you'd like and do a few in a row. some shrugging through your shoulders because you go to a handstand position. We'll just go ahead and shrug our shoulders here and do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're gonna do a little, it's called a dog with a broken leg. I'm sorry, I don't really like the name of that, but it's what it's called. And basically you're like pushing off of one foot and kicking the other because you're using this bottom leg to give you your energy. So on that, you're gonna have your hands here and your favorite leg is gonna be in front. I'm a righty, so I'm gonna have my right leg in front because that's the one I push off for handstands and cartwheels with. So my left leg is gonna be the one that's nice and tight behind me. And essentially what you're doing is, as this leg is tight and lifting through using your muscles, you're going to push off your bottom foot completely until it's pointed. Now you can practice these if you want and stay on the ground, or if you're ready, you can push and come back down. Push and come back down. Make sure that you do keep your core nice and tight, your muscles tight. Being in control of your body is really important for part of the safety of all this. So yeah, so those are some drills that you can get comfortable with, starting to kick up. Again, you can also use a mat for that. And this is gonna be, I feel like it's gonna challenge you a bit more because there is elevation. You have to learn how to push off the ground even more to get that extra height. So same thing, kick and push. Kick and push. So those are a couple of drills you could play with. And now for the actual TikTok. I like to start with my hands here. You could start with them here, up by your ears. But as I reach, my back leg is gonna kind of follow. I find my hands, I push tall from handstand,
Open my armpits, safely find my feet, and then keep that shoulder angle open as you kick over.
Yeah, that's a TikTok. You could practice those a few more times. I'm also gonna go into some tips for back walkovers and bridges. Again, if you have not done them by yourself before, stick to what you can do safely. Yeah, so what you can do, I don't have a wall here to demonstrate, but one way to get yourself more comfortable with going backwards is if you have a wall behind you, and you find your hands, you reach back and kind of walk your hands down the wall and your feet out as you find the floor with your hands. I just recommend keeping something soft underneath you too. But for those of you who are ready to go backwards or have gone backwards safely, let me give you some tips to be aware of. You want to stand nice and tall, and you want to make sure that you're using your glutes to kind of squeeze and push your hips forward because you want to protect that lower back. So let's go ahead and we'll just do 5 little reach backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as I go back for my back bends, I want to think about like opening the chest, and my eyes are kind of following my fingertips as my hips come forward and squeeze. So you're tall, open the hips, open the armpits, look for the ground, and find your hands. Now to stand back up can be quite challenging. You're gonna wanna kind of find this like shift forward and use your pelvic area to like help push you up this way. So you're gonna kind of lean and squeeze. So when you're ready and you're safe, that's something that you could think about during that practice. And then I'm gonna finish off with some tips on back walkovers. So when you're doing your back walkover, you wanna make sure that you're nice and tall in this supporting leg. You don't wanna like sink. You want to make sure you're squeezing, still like be stable on it. And you want to reach nice and tall, thinking about bone stacking, shoulders, hips, all the way down. So you don't want your front foot too far out, and you don't want to kind of be sticking your bum out like this. You want to be reaching nice and tall. I like to think about going over a rainbow. So as I'm going back, I'm growing out of my hips and keeping the stretch going. So I'm here. I reach tall, supporting leg nice and tight. This leg nice and tight. As you go back, find your hands, legs come up, and go over the top. You want it to be kind of like a flow. So when your hands are about to hit the floor, that front leg is going to want to be lifting. And then by the time your hands hit the floor, your bottom leg can push off. And then your feet are going to be in that L handstand position. And once you're nice and stacked on top of yourself, shrug nice and tall. Also, something to be aware of are your hips. Both in back walkovers, and also like if you're doing the drill where you're in your bridge, holding a leg up, you don't really want your hips to turn, or you don't want one hip to turn out. So you want to avoid like anything turning in or anything turning out. You almost want to think of your hips as like a headlight on a car. And if they're both facing forward, you're on the road. If one is to the side, you're probably going to veer off the road. So as you go back, reach nice and tall, open the shoulders, and legs follow. And then, yeah. So that does it for my session today. Go ahead and rock and roll however many times you need it. Take your water breaks. And just to reiterate, I have done bridges and like back walkovers since I was like 8 years old, like years and years and years. So I've had a lot of training and strength training to do these safely and properly. And so wherever you're at in your practice, again, make sure you're safe, make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing. If you're not, or you haven't done something before, I would recommend to wait until you're in a proper class before doing anything by yourself that you're not comfortable with or familiar with. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed. And I also do want to stress not only safety, but also I hope you had fun. And I'm so happy that I got to be here and be a part of this experience for you. If you want to connect on social media, you can find me at Michelle Jean Andrews, which has more of my aerial and like my artistic kind of stuff that I like to post, or at Move With Me. It's kind of a newer page, and that one's kind of like my fitness and how to, as I continue to train my CPT with NASM. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and happy Saturday. Have fun stretching with Andrea next.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more, no, no. Yeah.
consistency. You want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
Hi you guys, it's Andrea here. Congratulations on making it this far in the Train Like a Gymnast Summit. I know you guys are really tired from working so hard all day. I'm here to help you with a cool down stretch, okay? So let's just go ahead and get right into it. You don't really need anything for this except for your body. Shoes are optional. I'm wearing my Vivo barefoot shoes because they don't feel like I'm wearing shoes anyways. And I'm wearing my Viore yoga set. I really like stretching in these pants because when I do the splits and stuff, they don't ride up or anything like that. So let's go ahead and go. We're just gonna stand up on our mat or wherever you're at. We're gonna take our chin, look over our right shoulder, and we're going to draw a big, slow circle with our chin. Okay, all the way around. Just stretching the neck. Then finish looking over your shoulder. Look over the left shoulder and do the same thing the other direction. Just drawing a big, slow circle with your chin. Okay? Then we're gonna lift our arms up and we're gonna do arm circles forwards, passing by the ears, big circles for 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're gonna circle backwards, doing the same thing to the other direction for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the arms up. We're gonna do some calf raises, up, hold, back down, up, hold, back down. Squeeze your ankle bones together. Go up as high as you can. Keep your weight distributed towards your big toe and your second toe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead, put your feet shoulder width apart, fold your palms forward, push your butt back, lengthen the spine and hold. We want to make sure we're not rounding it all here. We're opening our chest, almost arching the lower back, and we're feeling it in our hamstrings. For 3, 2, and 1. Back up to center, drop that right arm, and we're going to lean to our right side. So we want to keep our rib cage nice and open here. Open our body for 3, 2, 1. Back to center, drop the left arm, and lean to your left side. Okay, again, ribs are nice and open, top arm is not crossing in front of our body, it's back behind, back to center. What we're gonna do next is slowly press our hips forward, tilt our chin back, and hold that arch. And then we're gonna relax and round down to the floor below us. Try to let that upper body just hang nice and loose. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Toes apart. Grab the backs of your ankles. We're just going to do small elbow bends with our chest open, chin neutral. Feeling it in the hamstrings for 3, 2, 1. Put those toes back together. Push one ankle forward at a time. Up and down, up and down. Pushing through the ball of your foot every rep for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and put the heels flat, round the spine, and round up to the ceiling. Awesome. All right, go ahead and turn those toes out, hands on your knees. You're just gonna let your hips sink down really low. We're just stretching out the inner thigh and the hip area. And you're gonna push your left shoulder forward and look over your right shoulder. And just hold, relaxing, try not to hold yourself up. For 3, 2, 1, switch directions. Right shoulder forward, look over your left shoulder, letting the hips just sink low, okay? For 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna kneel down on the floor now. We're gonna stretch our wrists. So you're gonna flip your hands under like this, and we're just gonna rock forward and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next, we'll do fingertips facing each other, and we're gonna rock side to side for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This one's my favorite wrist stretch. Flip the palms under, fingertips on the ground, and slowly stretch out those forearms. And we're just gonna do small elbow bends, one arm at a time for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, next what we're gonna do is push the butt back over the heels, arch the back, and press your chest and armpits down into the floor. And try to get your chin on the floor if you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk those hands back in. We're on all fours. We're gonna do our cat camels. So we're gonna round that spine, arch back, look at the ceiling. Round up, and arch back. 3 more times. Round up, arch back. 2 more, round, then arch. Last one, round, and arch. Beautiful job. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and lean back on our elbows next. We're gonna do a quick little hip opener. So one of my favorite ones. We're gonna start with our right leg first. You're just gonna tuck your knee into your chest, open it to a side passe, then extend it forward. So tuck, open, straighten. Essentially all we're doing here is drawing a circle with our knee, and you wanna make that circle as big as you can, okay? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Okay, left leg, same thing. Up, open, straighten, up, open, straighten. We're engaging the core here. The lower back is round. Opening the hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Okay, another hip over that I love is just a kneeling side lunge. So our right knee's bent, toes are facing slightly out. With our extended leg, for me is the left leg, the kneecaps face to the ceiling. We're just gonna shift our weight from right to left. And as you shift side to side, I want you to try to keep your hips as low to the floor as possible. So try not to come up at all. Try to stay nice and low, pushing the knees back, pressing the hips forward, kind of tucking them under slightly. You also want to keep the chest and posture up tall. Don't hunch forward, okay? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. All right, next exercise we're gonna do is a single leg frog stretch. So you basically wanna make this shape with your legs, half goalpost shape. So your right knee is going to be bent at 90 degrees and your left leg's gonna be extended. And we're just gonna go ahead and slide that left foot out and hold as low as we can. Okay, we're gonna hold this for 60 seconds. All right, I've been doing these stretches for years, so I'm kind of doing them in an advanced level. If you're at home and you're up more like this, that does not mean you're doing it wrong. That's totally okay, but you should be feeling it in the same places I'm feeling it, which is the inner thighs and the hip joints, okay? So just slide out as far as you can, keeping good posture and good form, okay? So from knee to hip, hip to knee to toe is in one straight line, okay? Make sure we're not tucking that back foot in like this and sitting back on our foot. Our ankle's pushing out. So 90 degrees, that half goalpost shape. Okay guys, you can do it. Keep breathing. Just 10 more seconds, get as low as you can. For the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slide that leg back in. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same stretch to the other direction. So now our left knee is bent at 90 degrees and our right leg is extended. And we're just gonna go ahead and slide right out into that single leg frog stretch on the other side. So you might be feeling a little bit of pressure underneath your knee right here. A little bit of pressure is totally normal to feel, but you shouldn't be feeling pain. It shouldn't be going that far. So if you are, make sure you rotate that knee slightly up to the ceiling, okay? It should alleviate some of that pressure. Make sure we're breathing, deep inhales, deep exhales, okay? When you breathe out, try to exhale any tension that you're holding in your body. So breathe in deep, and when we exhale, get deeper into the position. We have about 20 more seconds on this side, and then we're going to do our regular frog stretch on both legs. So remember, this leg's out at 90, it's not tucked in under our butt. It's pushing out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slide that leg back in. Okay, we're gonna do our frog stretch now, which is aiming to make this goalpost shape with our legs. All right, so we're on our knees, hands on the ground, and go ahead and just push both knees out at the same time into that frog stretch position. Again, I'm doing this at a pretty advanced level. If you're up here like this, that's totally okay. If you're feeling kind of a lot of pressure on your wrists or your back, you can go ahead and rest your elbows on something higher like a coffee table or a chair. Otherwise, reach for the floor. If you are advanced like me and you want to make it harder, if you have yoga blocks at home or hardback books, something like that, you can go ahead and put that under your knee, and so you can kind of get into an oversplit in your frog stretch, and that's going to help get you a deeper stretch. You can also straighten your arms, even go up on your fingertips and tilt the chin back, and that's going to help it be a little bit more difficult as well. Keep breathing, guys. You've got this. Deep, slow breaths. Keep holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and slide those knees back in. All right, so next we're gonna do a hip flexor strengthening exercise. We're gonna lay on our back. Our toes are gonna face to the ceiling. We're gonna slowly open our legs to a straddle and then just close them back up. That's it, that's all we're doing. Open, and then close. As you close the legs, you should feel energy right here in the inner thighs and the hip flexors, and we're just strengthening right there. Your lower back needs to be very round and your core is engaged. We're not arching at all. Our hips are slightly rotated up, so our hamstrings are kind of facing the ceiling and not so much the wall. We're almost done. Last 5, 4, keep breathing, guys. 3, make sure your legs are straight. 2, and 1. Okay, we are going to try those middle splits. We're holding it for 1 minute. So what you're gonna do is stand up. Your knees and toes are facing slightly up towards the ceiling, hands on the floor. We're just gonna slowly slide down as low as we can into that middle split position, okay? Again, knees are rotated slightly up, and just hold. Don't forget your breathing. Breathe through it, okay? You should be feeling discomfort in this stretch, but you shouldn't be feeling excruciating pain. And if you are, then you're just going too far. So go ahead and come up a little bit. Okay, we don't need to push through any sort of excruciating pain. Just mild discomfort is normal. I'm gonna go ahead and turn to the side so you guys can see me from another angle. Okay, we wanna be in a perfectly straight line from hip to knee to toe. One line. So a lot of people accidentally do this and it's not quite a stretch, or you sit back here. Make sure we're in a nice straight line. All right, y'all, we can do this. We're almost done. Keep holding it, keep breathing. We've got this. Don't come out of it for the last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You can do it as far as you can for 5, 4, 3, even lower, 2, and 1. Walk your hands back up. Beautiful job. All right, y'all. We're going to do some hamstring stretches now and then try our splits. I love this hamstring stretch. It's super simple, but it really stretches me deeply every time. So we're going to lock our fingers like this. We're going to tuck our right knee into our chest, and we're going to put our fingers under the arch of our right foot. Open that chest. We're just going to extend the right leg up, then bend it back down. Straighten and bend. That's all there is to it. Make sure you have good posture. We're not hunching forward like this. That makes it easier and it strains our back. We want to open the chest, press the shoulders down, and think about lengthening the spine, okay? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Okay, we're just going to switch sides. Same thing, walk the fingers Tuck the left knee into chest, hands under the arch of the left foot, and we're just gonna extend up, back down, up, back down. Open chest, chin neutral, shoulders down, excellent posture. We're not leaning forward. We're almost even arching the lower back, just ever so slightly. For 5, 4, 3, a little bit higher, 2, as high as you can for the last 1. Awesome job. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of hamstring work, some active flexibility. We're gonna lay on our left side, just make sure I'm not gonna kick the couch. I think I'll be good. So we're on our left side, try not to side arch, we wanna be nice and tall. Bottom leg's bent, top leg is straight. We're gonna kick behind our ear and just kick up and down, up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're gonna swing our leg forward, ring back, swing forward, ring back. In the front, we're feeling in the hamstring. In the back, we're feeling it in the quad and the hip flexor. 1 more, and then we're gonna circle our leg back. So essentially what you're doing is drawing a circle with your toe, and you wanna make it the circle as big as possible. Just 2 more. Last one. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna switch the other direction now. So we're on our right elbow, our right knee's bent, left leg is straight on top. Try to kick behind, not in front. We're just gonna go up and down, up and down. Try to kick higher every rep that you do. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing the leg forward, bend back. Swing forward, bend back. 3 more, big as you can. 2, last one. Draw the circle all the way around, big slow circle. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Awesome. Okay, let's do a quick pike stretch. So we're gonna sit up. Okay, when we reach into our pike stretch, I want you guys to make sure we're not rounding the shoulders, closing the chest, and hunching over like this. We wanna lift our arms, arch our lower back. Think about pressing your belly button forward over your kneecaps, and we're gonna lower down into our pike stretch. Okay, so go ahead and begin if you haven't yet. Another way to make it more difficult is pulling your toes up towards your body. When you do that, you should feel a deep calf stretch, and then it should be a little bit more difficult in the hamstring as well. Keep going. Let's reset and do 1 more. Stretch up, breathe in deep, and exhale, lower down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, a little bit further for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and sit up. Okay, we're gonna do lunges then splits. If you're on a hardwood floor, I would suggest maybe putting a pillow underneath your back knee. Otherwise, you don't need anything. We're gonna do our right leg lunge first. So just the basic lunge. The purpose is to stretch our back hip flexor. So go ahead and get into that right leg lunge, pressing the hip forward. Try to make sure you do it with really, really square hips. So don't twist to the side. Okay, just nice square hips. If you want to make this one more difficult, you can tuck your toes underneath in the back and extend your back knee. Okay, if the basic lunge isn't stretching you enough. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're going to move on into a quad stretch now. So grab that back foot, pull the heel up towards your glute. Okay, and just press the back hip forward without compromising your posture, so make sure we're not going like this. Okay, we have our chest up tall. If you're having a really hard time balancing on this one, or if this really hurts your knee, you can always do this one laying on your stomach instead. Or you can even do it standing up on one foot. Whichever one is more comfortable for you. I do find the lunge gives me the deepest stretch, but I know it's hard to balance on that one sometimes. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that back foot down. Shift your weight over the back leg, so back hip is in line over back knee. All right, arch the lower back, extend the front leg, flex the toes, and lower down as far as you can with excellent posture, okay? So remember the open chest. I'd rather you be up higher, but with a good position, than rounding and getting lower. We don't want to do this one. Okay, open that chest and lower down. Deep breath. Remember, as you exhale, that's when you get into the more intense position, not when you're breathing in and holding tension. Keep holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, what we're going to do next is bend the front leg at 90 degrees. Okay, straighten the back leg, and go ahead and lower your body down over the front leg. Again, I know I'm talking about this a lot, but don't compromise the posture, so don't round down, open the chest, and reach down far. The lower your belly button gets to the floor, the more difficult the stretch will be. You should be feeling it on the outer hip of the front leg, and you also might be feeling it a little bit in the hip flexor of the back leg. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk those hands back in. Good job, y'all. Okay, we're going to do our left leg lunge now. So we're holding ourselves up on the right knee, left foot is in front, hips are square. We're just going to push both hips forward into that lunge. Remember, to make it more difficult, tuck those toes under in the back and slowly extend the back knee. You should feel that very intensely in the hip flexor. Otherwise, just go ahead and stay in the regular lunge. Make sure your knee doesn't pass over your toe. That's not getting as good of a stretch. Your knee should be stacked over your ankle, not over your toe, okay? Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and grab that back foot. Pull the heel up to the glute. Remember the modification for this one. If you have a hard time balancing here, or if it's very painful for your knee, go ahead and do this one just laying on your stomach. Same thing. Pull your heel up to your glute laying on your stomach, or standing up on one foot, either against a wall or just not, if you can balance like that. Keep your posture tall for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that back foot down, hip in line directly over knee, leg extended, toes flexed. Remember, arch that lower back, that's key. And slowly lower down over the front leg. We should be feeling this in the hamstring. Okay, you might be feeling it a little bit in your calf as well. To make it more difficult, use your hands, pull your toes up towards your body. Okay? Arch the lower back, get lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that front knee, bend it at 90 degrees, extend the back leg, arch the lower back, lengthen the spine, and slowly lower your body down over that front leg. Again, feeling this one in that outer hip of the front leg, and a little bit as well in the back hip flexor of the straight leg. I want you to visualize pushing your belly button forward for this stretch, okay? So we're not hunched, we're open. Get as low as you can. Keep breathing for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and walk your palms back up. Okay, one of our favorite parts, we are going to try the splits now. So we're going to do our right leg split first, start in that hamstring stretch. All right, and we're just going to, with square hips, slide our front leg forward. When you start unsquaring, that's when you know you need to stop. Okay, go down as far as you can with nice square hips. Okay, your back knee should be tucked under. We're just going to hold with excellent posture. Okay, getting as low as we can. If you're not quite all the way down, just keep working on getting there. If you are all the way down and you don't have equipment at home for oversplits, there's a few things you can do in your splits just to change it up. One of my favorite ones is body rolls. So you literally just arch down, round back, arch down, round back. I really feel that pretty deeply in my hip flexor and my hammy when I do it that way. Another way you can stretch more is get into a ring position with that back leg. That'll really, really get your quad and your hip flexor. Try to touch your toes to your forehead, stuff like that. Okay? We have about 10 more seconds left in this split. We have a friend. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, go ahead and slide out. And then we're going to do our left leg split. My cat's very confused about what I'm doing. So same prep work, we're gonna get into the hamstring stretch and then go ahead and slide that front foot out into a nice square hip split, okay? All right, remember, if you're all the way down, you can go ahead and do the body rolls. You can certainly get into an oversplit if you have like yoga blocks or something like that. Lean on the front leg, arch of the back leg. I love doing the ring position, stuff like that. Holding, holding, holding. You can lift your arms up too. Do different variations, really whatever you want. Try to keep the posture tall. A way you can work on squaring your hips and shoulders is putting the opposite arm on the opposite leg like that. So definitely not this is incorrect. But switch it up this way and just hold. Make sure we're doing our breathing. We're not holding in tension, not holding our breath. Almost done, y'all. Let's get as low as we can for the last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We are already almost done. That's flying by so fast. Let's do our back and shoulder stuff now. So we're gonna get into a seal stretch. If this is too difficult for you, you can do it on your elbows. Otherwise, let's straighten our arms. We're gonna do knees apart, feet together. Okay, we're just gonna bend, then straighten, bend, then straighten. Up, down, 5 more, then we're gonna hold it. 4, 3, 2, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Try to touch your toes to your head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back down, sit up on your knees. This one's one of my favorite hip openers and lower back stretches. We're gonna have our legs about shoulder width apart. We're gonna reach our right hand down in between our legs. Left hand is to the ceiling. If this is stretching you deeply, stay here. If you can go further, take that hand and reach it back towards the wall as low as you can, keeping the eyes on your hand for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back up. We're going to switch directions, other hand. Eyes on your hand. If you can bring it back, bring it back. Press the hips forward. Arch your back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back up. If you're able to reach your hands back to your ankles or your heels, do so. If not, just put your hands on the back of your hips. We're just going to reach back, press the hips forward, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit back up. All right, lay on your stomach. Bend your knees, one hand on each ankle, and we're going to extend our legs to the ceiling as straight as we can in 3, 2, 1. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Get those legs straight for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. Last back exercise. If you're able to do a bridge, that's what we're doing. If you're not sure about the bridge, you can repeat any of the back stretches instead that we just did. We're going to lay on our back, put our heels and our palms down on the floor, drive them into the floor. Make sure your fingertips are facing your heels. That's really important. Press your hips up to the ceiling. In 3, 2, 1, bridge up and hold. If you can, try to straighten your knees as straight as they will get. Push your chest over your wrists for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Chin on your chest, lower down slowly. Okay, we're just gonna round the back out and then we're done, you guys. So go ahead and round the spine, tuck your knees into your chest. We're gonna rock back 3 times. On the third one, we're gonna straighten our legs and hold our toes over our head. For 3, round that spine, deep breath. 2, last one, straighten the legs, toes overhead, round the spine. If you wanna make it more difficult,
You can bend your knees and try to touch your shins to the floor. Keep holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly roll back up to a sit. You guys did it. Awesome job. I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause for working out today. I know you guys had a long day of gymnastics, and I admire y'all for investing in your body. You guys did it. Good job. Have a great weekend.
Something doesn't quite fit. A normal foot shape today is not our natural foot shape. Shoes have distorted our feet in the name of fashion. Feet were made to feel. Shoes have made them numb. Maximalist design fighting the foot's minimalist needs. The short-term comfort of foam and air is having a long-term effect on our health. If feet cannot feel, feet cannot function, and we cannot move. The last thing the shoe industry thinks about is your feet. We must uncover this shoe-spiracy, reclaim our feet, reinstate our health, reconnect with what makes us human. Think feet first.
Do you often get trapped in negative thought loops? Trouble living in the present moment? Is your mind constantly busy? Welcome to the 5-Minute Journal. Think of it as a toothbrush for your mind. Based on proven positive psychology research, in just 5 minutes a day, it trains your mind to focus on the good in your life. Here's how it works. In the morning, you start your day with practices that support gratitude and bring awareness to intentional actions that enhance your life and connection to it. This conditions your brain to become positive focused and ensure you begin each day with purpose. At night before bed, you reflect on the good things that happened throughout your day and how you could improve for tomorrow. No matter how your day was, you'll sleep a bit better after calming your mind with the 5-Minute Journal. In as little as a week, the 5-Minute Journal helps you appreciate life more and counter negative thought loops. It's the simplest thing you can do to start and end your day happier. Learn more at www.5minutejournal.com.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words no more, no, no. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. How do you all feel right now? Give me one word or an emoji for how you feel after everybody's segments. Also, Jessica, the drama in the Vivo Barefoot ad, I totally know what you're talking about. I keep getting these chats like delayed, but yeah, but it's true, right? I just took mine off, so I'll show you up close, right? So these ones they just sent because this new color came out and they're really dope. But look at how wide at the top they are, right? So your foot, when it spreads, it actually spreads throughout this whole spot right here. They have a bunch of different styles. I have like 7 pairs or something right now. But yeah, they're really, really awesome. They have a whole bunch of different types of shoes too. It's not just like running shoes, sneakers, all that. They've got like boots for basically every occasion. And I believe they're based in the UK. So they're really nice. They're really awesome. They're very good quality. So if you are a VIP, in your swag bag, you will have the code to use for the website to get, I believe it's 10% off, 10 or 15% off. Just double check that there. Yeah, so what we're gonna do now is just wrap up everything. Last time I closed out the summit, it kind of went for a long time, and we got that feedback, so we're gonna make it short and sweet and let you guys get on with your Saturdays. Yes, I'm so excited, and I'll get to the next one in a second too. So let me go over a couple of questions that typically come up frequently, and especially after a summit, people have questions. So I'm going to try and get through some of these here, and then I will talk about the next summit, and then I'll let you go. So first thing, workshop. What is the next workshop? It was supposed to be April 5th. Then it got pushed to May 24th. And then we don't know. It's just postponed until the gym reopens. But Los Angeles County, our mayor, I believe, is starting to allow gyms to reopen with restrictions. So I don't know. I have to contact the gym owner and see when their official start date is, and if we can have certain people, like our workshop, actually with more than 10 people. I don't know. We're still kind of up in the air about that, but hopefully it's not going to have to be like August. That's the goal. Then the retreat. How do you go on a retreat? What is the retreat? You saw in every single commercial break how fun our retreats are. That one was our one in Hawaii right before quarantine hit. So we were really grateful and lucky to be able to do that. It was an incredible group of people. I think some of the retreaters might be in here right now. I know we definitely have people in the chat or watching who are coming on our next one in Lake Tahoe. And we're actually about to announce, we got 2 new retreaters who registered in the past couple of weeks for the Lake Tahoe one, end of September. So if you're interested in learning more about the retreat or what it has to offer, go to trainlikeagymnast.com/retreat. I try to make the URLs really easy for you to remember, just like trainlikeagymnast.com/workshop. Just go to tlag.com/retreat, and you'll learn more about what the retreat has to offer. This one is going to be September 30th to October 4th, and so I think it's a Wednesday to Sunday, with a bunch of incredible ladies so far. Nathan might actually be there, and you just learned from him today. So we'll see how that all goes. It's an awesome estate. We're going to get private beach access. We have a private chef who makes every single meal, so we're never going out to eat. It's always custom to what your guys' diet is, and it's all homemade and fresh and amazing. And then we're doing gymnastics training. Each day has its own little theme, so it's like tumbling day, flexibility day, hand balancing day, all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited for that one. We wanted to do 3 this year, but it looks like we're only going to get to do 2, which is fine. next year, going to be bigger and better. So that is about the workshop of the retreat. What is the TLAG team? So you might have seen that on our social media. We're using hashtag TLAG team. That is our group of ambassadors. So I don't know why my hair is like all on my face. That is our team of ambassadors who are former gymnasts, cheerleaders, or dancers who still train like a gymnast, who want to train like a gymnast, who love gymnastics, and they already embody the values and qualities that Train Like a Gymnast has as a brand. So if you want to be a part of that team, just go to trainlikeagymnast.com/team to apply, and then we have an intern who looks at all of the applications and stuff. So our team will look at it, and we'll look at your application and hopefully accept you in. That is basically some of our girls in the program get to teach in these summits. So if you're like, oh, I would love to be able to teach some kind of segment or hit workout or something gymnastics based, you have that opportunity because we pull from that ambassador group. Usually it's about 1 to 2 TLAG team members per summit, so you definitely have that option. You get discounts to retreats and workshops, you get a lot of different perks, you have networking abilities with each other as well as with guest speakers that we bring in. So like if you listen to our podcast, some of those podcast episodes are done in live Zoom calls with Olympians and different guest speakers, and then you can ask them questions one-on-one at the end. So it just gives you a lot of access to things, and we also make it what you want from it. So when you apply, you tell us what you want out of the program and then what you can give. So we want to make it really custom to each person. You can participate as much or as little as you want. If you think like, oh my gosh, there's too much time commitment, you can still be a part of the program and just make what you can make. There's no requirements. It's just if you want to be a part of this group and embody the values of TLAG, then we highly recommend you join. We'd love to have you. How can I get flexible? We already answered that in kind of Andrea's and also Nathan's segments. So staying motivated, especially during this time, is really important because I know a lot of us are feeling drained. So just always going back to your why. So in the commercial break, whenever I said, remember why you started, right? Never lose sight of your why. Become a champion, train like a gymnast. Your why is what is going to lead you forward and keep you motivated. If you are, if your why isn't strong enough to make you cry, most likely your mind, your logical mind, is going to try and find a way to tell you of all the reasons why you can't do something or why you can't get there. But if your why is so deeply rooted in yourself and in your soul, it will push you intrinsically. Like you're not going to need anything external to tell you. Like your body, your soul is going to know and keep you moving forward. So if you feel like you have a why, ask why. It's kind of like this rule of 5 whys. If you ask why 5 times, you'll probably get to the real reason. A lot of us like to stay at the comfort surface level instead of diving down deep and getting down to what the actual reason is. So I challenge you to ask yourself why 5 times. If anybody feels comfortable with it, would love for you to put your why in the chat. And hopefully I can save this chat by the end too, so I don't have to lose it. I love what you guys were all saying during the whole time. How often should you train? It depends on your goals. So if you're doing maintenance, it's probably going to be less than if you're really trying to actively lose. If you're trying to gain, it's going to be more than maintenance. It's going to be more than what you're trying to lose, but you also need to work on your nutrition side. So there's no clear-cut answer of like how often should I train? How often should I do this? It really changes from person to person. So that's why if you really, really liked how any of the instructors taught their segments, reaching out to them directly, if it helped you get better and you learned something from them, then they can custom make something for you, some kind of program, or watch something. I know Nathan was already getting DMs during the summit of videos kind of like for audits. So definitely ask Chellsie, Taylor, ask Nathan, ask Michelle, ask Andrea to take a look at your stuff, and you never know. You'll learn from them. You can always send it to me too. How do you get more involved in Train Like a Gymnast? Well, first off is the ambassador, the TLAG team. You can also just continue to be a part of these summits. You can tell your friends to join. You can tell your friends about our freebies. So if you're just spreading the network, you're being a part of our team, actually, to grow this community, because that's what we want. We want this to be the go-to community for all former gymnasts, dancers, and cheerleaders, because we don't really have one after we retire. So I really want this to be a safe place where we can all come together and and absolutely love being a part of the same community and support each other, because sometimes we had some not so fun teammates. And so I want to create a supportive, encouraging space for all of us to get better as adults and maybe learn things that we didn't know when we were younger. So that's pretty much it for the questions. Unless you have any questions in the chat, you can put them in there now. I wanted to say a thank you again to our sponsors, Vivo Barefoot, Viore Clothing, for donating the clothes for all of our instructors. And then, as you saw in the last commercial break, Learmont Fitness, 5-minute journal. Who else was in there? We had Vivo, and then it was my video. So we have a lot of sponsors that are in the VIP swag bag, so you'll get free products, you'll get discount codes on a lot of stuff, and I highly recommend the 5-minute journal if you've not experienced it. It's literally a magic journal. You write your intentions, you write what you're grateful for, what would be great in your day, and a lot of times it comes true. So with that, the last thing I want to say is all of the VIP registrants were entered to win a pair of Vivo Barefoot shoes, and our winner of the Vivos was Caitlin Smith. She's already been notified. And so she will be receiving a pair of Vivos, so keep an eye out for her. I don't have her handle right here. I have her email, but I'm not going to give her email out. But congrats to Caitlin for winning the Vivos. And each time for each summit, it's going to be something different. So whether you've registered for 3 up front or you're doing each time, every summit is going to be different. It's going to have different instructors. It'll have something slightly different in the giveaway or in the swag bag. So keep coming back for more. I want to make it exactly what you want out of it. And yay, retreat. Yeah, Megan. And then, for the next one, the next summit is June 27th. Mark your calendars now. It'll be the same time, 10 a.m. Pacific to 1:30 p.m., which we're just finishing right now. So mark your calendars now. We're going to have, I'll announce it right now, who our instructors are, before we announce it to the public. So if you guys are not familiar with any of these people, go check them out. Angela Gargano, James Hugh, Sydney Brown, Francis Brower, and Sienna Martinez. So you're going to be working on pull-ups, like if you want to be able to rep pull-ups and actually get them right. Angela's teaching that. James is teaching acro, not partner acro because it's not really possible, but he's going to be teaching the foundations and drills and things that you can do for acro. Sydney Brown will be doing all things handstand. Francis will be doing yoga stuff, kind of with a gymnastics twist. And then Sienna will be doing active back flexibility, which we all need. So if you guys have any last questions, please just DM us on Train Like a Gymnast or on my personal account, Danielle Gray Fit, and we will get back to you. Our team is monitoring the TLAG one, and then I, of course, answer all questions on my own. With that, I'm so grateful for you taking the time out of your Saturday to be a part of this summit. I want you to share your experience. So do a story, an Instagram story, and let us know how you liked it, because like I said in the beginning, we take that and we show that to the next group of people. Like, this is the experience. This is from your peers, how these events go and what they got out of it. So we really would like to know what you liked, what you didn't like, and you'll actually get a feedback survey in a few hours about how it went. So please let us know. Tell your friends, and I hope to see you at the next one. With that, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.